No, definitely not. It's going to interfere.
Because it'll
So here we are. We have a horrible looking injury and the ambulance on the field to start the Seattle 49ers game. We'll get the details of what happened. Started getting a little bit of a late start here. Not a good way to start. But we'll wait right now for a report. The ambulance is on the field. It's not a cart situation. It's an ambulance situation. So we'll get the details for that. It was the opening kickoff. The game is not even started yet, really. So we'll get an update soon. And Lee, my brother Lee, is in the broadcast. I don't know if you heard Lee or if you're watching and you saw that injury yet.
I'm not in yet, no.
Okay, so there's on the opening kickoff, there's a really scary injury. The ambulance is actually on the field right now. And that's on the opening kickoff, which is going to bring back the argument of shouldn't we just start teams at the 25-yard line, because that's what happens 80 to 90% of the time anyway. And then we might be able to avoid these kind of things. I got John Post is here. John, I got off to a late start because the Jet game was on the Jet Nation stream with Green Bean. So I'm just getting here and getting settled in. I don't know what happened yet. We'll talk about it as soon as we see the replay. But it was on the opening kickoff. There's only 4 seconds into the game. There's an ambulance on the field. I'm assuming that means neck injury, but we'll see. It could be head injury too. And I'm not even sure what team it's on. So we're gonna find out real soon. It's commercial right now. It's amazing to me. The NFL sees it as an opportunity to make money. So,
when something like this happens, it makes talking about the game seem a little bit less important or a lot less important. So
yeah,
I was going to ask you your thoughts about the relevancy of the game and why this game specifically is important or isn't. But, it's times like these that it just seems less important regardless.
Yeah. That being said, we will. So it's down for the Niners. It's Trenton Cannon, running back, former Jet, I think, if that's the same Cannon. The Jets, I'm not sure it's the same Cannon, but the Jets had, maybe that's different Cannon. But he looks like, I can't even tell, he's got headphones on him. He's strapped to the stretcher. He's being pulled away. Looks like it could have been a head injury because I didn't see the neck brace on him. So I didn't see it like as a neck injury. It might more be a head injury. So let's hope he's okay. So the significance of the game, we should still talk about it. We got to get back on with football. The game is resuming. So for Seattle, it's a huge rivalry. They hate the Niners. They definitely want to win this game. They're playing for pride. They're obviously out of the playoffs. They're 3-8. Even if they run the table, they probably wouldn't make the playoffs. They could. 9-8 could in the NFC get a wild card spot, but the likelihood of them running the table and winning every game is very, very remote. The Niners, however, are in the playoff hunt. So it's absolutely crucial and critical for them to win the game at 6-5. A win right now, 7-5, would probably put them in that position if the season ended after today's. They would be in place for a playoff spot. They've come a long way. If you're a Jet fan, which a lot of my fans are, Seattle losing obviously improves their draft position. It moves them up in the draft or keeps them up in the top 5, and the Jets own that pick, so that helps the New York Jets a lot in their draft position with that pick. It's 3rd and 7 right now. I should get back to calling the game. Russell Wilson takes the ball out of shotgun, makes a simple flat pass, and nothing comes of it. The San Francisco defense was all over it. He basically threw it out, flat pass about 4 or 5 yards parallel to him. barely threw it to the line of scrimmage, and quick tackle by number 30 by Truitt makes a big tackle, and Seattle will already be punting.
Hey, last week you said that you thought they brought Wilson back too early, that he was still hurt. Are you still thinking that?
Well, Seattle just got a touchdown, so Seattle just I don't know if it was a muff punt. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I think they faked we got to stop talking when the game is being played. I think that Seattle just faked the punt and got a touchdown. Number 25 scored the touchdown, 73-yard. Yeah, it was a fake homer. Number 25, Trent Homer, took the snap directly and just scored a touchdown. So Pete Carroll has been known for trickery. Just took the momentum back in the game. And what a great call! What a ballsy call! I guess when you're 3-8, and you're desperate and you're on a 3 or 4 game losing streak, I guess that's what you do.
Well, this tells me that the fact that you think he started Wilson last week with an injury and that he's pulling these trick plays, I think, why do this unless he's thinking 9-8 can make the playoffs? And he wants to make the playoffs. I mean, other than that, there's no reason to be starting an injured quarterback, right?
Well, I think when you're 3-8, it's like he's certainly not going to give up completely. But I think that was we can't start the game 1, 2, 3 and out losing streak. Where if they weren't on a losing streak and it was, they were there having their normal season where they were 8-3, I don't think they do that. I think at 3-8, you take a shot. Like we got to do something to turn the season around so we can run the table. We're
right.
Yeah.
I'm with you. He's trying to run the table. He's trying to make a statement, but the statement is that we're going for it this year. That we're going to do what it takes.
Yeah.
If they lose this one, it's hard to imagine he'll continue that philosophy.
Right. And I think, I don't know, Russell Wilson, I mean, we haven't seen enough, obviously, in 3 plays.
I haven't seen any.
The pass that he made was fine. So the one pass that he made looked good. So we could say that, which is saying something because lately he's been so bad, like on passes and had he's looked the worst he has in his career. And that's why I assume that he's still injured. But we'll see.
Yeah, from my perspective,
great coverage on Seattle. Great coverage. He ran it. The guy tried to run it out of the end zone. San Francisco tried to run it. Now Seattle definitely is on fire with the momentum because they tackled him down at the 15-yard line. So Pete Carroll not only got the touchdown, he has taken full momentum of this football game and doing everything he can to take the Niners out of it early.
If I'm a Seattle fan, I'm still nervous about Wilson. I am.
I think that you have to be. But there's a lot of people think that he's not going to be a Seahawk next year. People are still saying that or believing that. And that is a possible explanation of why they're not caring too much about what happens with them as far as the future, that they're just going to play to win now, because there's a lot of talk that this is his last year in Seattle. It's hard for me to believe.
Every other team wants a top 10 quarterback. You finally have, not finally, they have one.
2nd and 9. Yeah, 2nd and 9. Yeah, it's so hard to find a quarterback. It's just so hard to believe that you give up when you have one. 2nd and 9, they do another running play. Stopped a yard behind. They went backwards. It's going to be 3rd down and 10.
So you have quarterbacks just have to throw it out. I mean, Wilson looked really good the first half. He hardly got the ball the second half today.
This is true.
I think your dog agrees.
Yeah, the dog is not happy. So it's 3rd and 10. I called it right. And he's out of the shotgun. Jimmy's out of the shotgun. And He's got good protection, good protection. Ooh, gets rid of it just in time when the protection finally broke and throws an incomplete pass. That was completely great coverage by Seattle. Pure coverage play. He had a good 4 or 5 seconds. They did finally get to him, but he was in the pocket a long time. That's a coverage sack or a coverage incomplete pass, almost a coverage sack. And see, San Francisco will have to punt from the end zone. So Pete Carroll, man, that's coaching. Just a great ballsy call. Has completely taken momentum, in this game. Except Seattle did get an amazing punt right now that rolled all the way
49ers.
to Seattle's 25-yard line.
Yeah, the
It's
Niners
an amazing punt. An amazing punt. That's like a 68-yard punt or something, not returns.
I'm about a play behind you, so I get to see this, a nice 2 minutes later.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up.
Yeah, sure. Anytime, Lee. So here we are. So what were you saying before this all happened?
No, it's about Zach Wilson. He looked better. He looked good for a good hunk of today's game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zach Wilson played a very good first half. Very accurate. They only had 3 plays in the third quarter, so there's no judgment of Zach Wilson in the third quarter. He did throw a pick. It was an awful pick, but he was clearly pressing the ball. The pick should never have happened. Elijah Moore dropped the big pass right before the pick, so they should have been in a completely different situation. It put him at 3rd and 10. They were down by 2 touchdowns. He clearly was pressing.
Yeah.
It was the only bad pass he threw. I mean, he threw some bad passes, incomplete passes, but like any quarterback would. But it was only the really bad negative on him.
He hit a few hands that were dropped also. I mean,
yeah. Oh, he should have had 100 yards more of passing. I mean, he had one that was dropped where he made the amazing play. It should have been a highlight play. He dodged a sack, rolled to the sideline, jumped in the air and off balance threw it 50 yards downfield beautifully. Elijah Moore should have came down with it. And there was another one that he threw 50 yards or 40 yards down the field that Elijah dropped that he should have had. So it was at least at a minimum a 90 yards flip in lost reception yardage. But the play Zach made off script was amazing. Like, it's too bad. It's a highlight play.
Yeah.
Much improved game by him. And then we said it, as Jet fans, we said if they were going to lose, at least let them lose with Zach Wilson playing well and showing growth. He showed growth today.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I wondered if Elijah Moore just has an issue with Zach in some way because he was catching other people's passes just fine.
Yeah. Well, he got off to a great start.
Yeah.
There's no Elijah had a great game overall. The drop passes kind of hurt it the second part of the game. He had a great first half. He's a rookie, and those are rookie kind of things that happen. So here we are, 25-yard line. Russell Wilson hands the ball off and nothing doing. That's a 5-yard loss. Jones, 93 for San Francisco, makes the play. That's what the Jets defense is supposed to be. That's what we're hoping for that they become. That looks like, we're modeled to be the San Francisco defense. We're just not seeing it. We're not getting that kind of play from our interior linemen on the Jets. And our defensive coordinator, Albrecht, is awful, and he's not making any adjustments to fix the problem. He's awful. He's probably going to get a second year. And that's, I think, probably what's upsetting the Jet fans the most is that it's going to take the Jets. Oh, fumble, recovered by San Francisco.
Oh,
He did a flat pass and a big fumble. Big fumble that changes the momentum of this game on 2nd and 15. He did a short little out pass, which concerns me. First play, running play, they fall to 2nd and 15, and it's like they don't trust Russell Wilson to throw the ball downfield.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 right now with 4 yards.
Right. So that was nice defensive play. They knocked the ball out. But you have to be wondering about Russell Wilson right now and why they're not throwing the ball downfield. And I'm telling you, Geno Smith is not the greatest backup quarterback, but he is not so bad that you play an injured quarterback in his place.
I don't get, because to me, 3-8, you're probably not making the playoffs. Why are you risking the quarterback unless you don't really care about your quarterback?
Yeah,
I guess.
it's hard to understand, and that looks like a touchdown right there on the first play. That's what momentum brings you. You know what I mean? You get the ball back on a turnover, first play, touchdown. First play. And
I don't know. You're very loose with the term momentum. I don't know if you know what that means the way I think of what it means, because
momentum.
it's not
Well,
lasting very long for either team.
no. Well, Seattle had tons of momentum. I mean, they right, but then with after everything after that by the way, that was a pass by was that to Kittles? I'm not sure it was to Kittles, but that was Jimmy G first play. What I'm saying is Seattle had all the momentum. They did the fake punt. They got the touchdown. They got the big play to pin San Francisco back. There was 1, 2, 3 and out for San Francisco. They punt the ball. So Seattle gets the ball again, complete momentum. And then boom, turnover. Kittles gets the score. It's a touchdown pass to Kittles in the first play with the ball. And now San Francisco has tied the game, and all the momentum Seattle had is gone.
The fumble is why they lost their momentum, is what you're saying.
Yeah, well, turnovers do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, turnovers do that. So
But that's something that even if you have momentum, a fumble is something that momentum doesn't help with necessarily. Not giving the ball up, right?
Right. So here we are. It is now a tie 7-7 game. Seattle get the ball back, and now we see what happens. Does San Francisco have sustainable momentum, or will Seattle now put together a drive and swing the pendulum back towards them? Like maybe you're right. Maybe it's not momentum. Maybe it's going to be a back and forth game. We'll find out.
Yeah, it's not momentum unless you keep the capitalizations coming.
Yeah.
Continued capitalization. There you go. Momentum.
There you go.
I think the biggest question for me this game is where's Wilson, and is he okay, and can Seattle depend on him? Now, if they're not depending on him anyway, looking to next season, there's got to be a question about what they're thinking for next season, because the quarterback draft, as you said, isn't very rich.
Right. It's true. Yeah, so it'd be really hard to imagine them letting Russell Wilson get away unless the trade brings in a quarterback that they haven't given up on, that another team might give up on. Now that's hard to believe but there was
Denver,
Bridgewater. There were rumors that last offseason Seattle was interested in Sam Darnold if they traded. So if that is true, what it shows is that Seattle is not perfect in their thinking. Like if they were going to bring in Sam Darnold, they were going to show that they've lost their judgment, because Sam Darnold was a horrible move for Carolina, and it would have been a horrendously bad move for Seattle. As a matter of fact, you might see Geno Smith starting over Sam Darnold. So, but it's rumors. We don't know 100% that that's true.
Yeah.
So we got the kickoff. Seattle fields it. It wasn't in the end zone. He's running it out. And he goes down at the 25-yard line, which is where it usually ends up anyway, because most kicks are out of the end zone.
So what do you think about the games? What do you think about the Dallas-New Orleans game? Dallas looked really good, huh?
Yeah, I think that we predicted that, and we'll talk about it in the post game in our post game show on Wednesday.
Yeah, we'll talk about it now a little bit.
Yeah, but you're kind of giving away all the candy. But don't spill your candy in the lobby. But we predicted it. That was one of we're looking bad in our predictions. Me and Jacob from who was my guest in the predictions, but not in that one. Although I did think, and I'll be honest, that I thought that Dallas would have had an even easier time than they did. They pulled away at the end with some interceptions, but I had thought it was going to be an easier time for them. So it's 2nd and 2. Seattle gets a nice 8-yard little pass play. So good Good for them. It looks like now we kind of maybe we're settling and we have some nice balance in the game. We got off to a crazy start. This has been very, very crazy first 5 minutes of football. And on 2nd and 2, San Francisco stops them. It does not look like, San Francisco's defense is healthy, and it doesn't look like the running game so far. Right now, the early impression is they're not going to have much of a running game. By the way, there was a fumble on that play that Seattle recovered. So that's the second fumble, but this time they got lucky and an offensive lineman was able to pull it in.
Same back?
It may have been. I didn't see who the running back was, but second fumble, that one looked a lot more like an issue. The other fumble was a really nice defensive poke. Beautiful jump catch by Metcalf, but it looks like he was out of bounds. So it's 4th and 3.
Yeah, the other game
pass to Metcalf, and he went up Metcalf. He made a beautiful play, but it was out of bounds, and that is. I mean, I'm not going to go crazy on Russell Wilson, but I mean, because it was a nice pass. It was just maybe, I mean, you're talking about inches. If he would have put it inches so Metcalf can make the play in bounds. But it was a nice pass. Not going to knock Russell Wilson for it.
Well, he still hasn't had a pass over 5 yards or over 3 yards yet or something, right?
Yes, and Seattle punter makes a great punt that's down by Seattle on like the 8-yard line.
Wow.
No.
Wow. Hey, the other game we have to talk about, I don't care if we're spilling some candy. It's not my candy, buddy. Is Detroit, Minnesota, because, you were talking about last week when we talked that Minnesota fans are very upset because they're not really playing up to where they should be playing, and Detroit doesn't have a win. Minnesota comes in and they get healthy. They get healthy on the Vikings.
Minnesota plays at the level of their competition. Every game is close. They can play.
This is a team without wins, okay?
Right. Well, they play to the level of their competition because Minnesota will play a great team and it'll be a really close game and they lose. So Detroit has been competitive lately, but there's no excuse. You're in Minnesota. You're still in the playoff hunt. You cannot lose to Detroit in that situation.
Well, they're in Detroit. I think they were in Detroit.
Oh, they were? Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. You're right. My bad.
Yeah.
They were in Detroit. I still don't care. You got to win that game. You're in the playoff race. Yeah. You got to win that game. You got to win it. And just to show that I'm not a total nincompoop, my friend John Post, who runs Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports, an awesome YouTube channel, says that I described it perfectly. They played at a level of the competition. And on that channel, the shows that I do, there is one of the co-hosts, Sean, is a Minnesota Viking fan. So we're certainly going to hear from him on Thursday. Is that the next time you go on, John? I think you go on Thursday. It'll be the next show. And I'm sure that we're going to hear all about it if Sean is on that show, that broadcast. Otherwise, you'll definitely hear from Sean on Sunday next week at 12 o'clock Eastern. And I will have John Post on my channel as a guest really soon because I'm going to switch it around a lot. And you might see a prediction with Pure Adrenaline with John Post. So here we go. They're redoing the punt, by the way. So there must have been a penalty. Ooh. And that will help San Francisco because now they get the ball to 21-yard line instead of the 8-yard line. So it's a nice that's a 15-yard, 16-yard, 15-yard penalty or a 13-yard penalty in San Francisco's favor when it's all said and done.
The other game, the Chargers killed Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And Herbert had a great game.
Yeah, Justin Herbert, man, looked like when he's in form, that's what he is, man. He's just lights out, stud quarterback.
Yeah.
It looked like
Burrow looked like he should have been buried.
Yeah. Well, Cincinnati was making a comeback.
Yeah.
Interception, first play, drop back, threw an interception right to the linebacker. San Francisco fans are going to be calling for Jimmy G's head on that one.
Momentum keeps switching, buddy.
Yeah. Well, you have Jimmy G There's a flag, so we'll see what happens there. You have Jimmy G, who's under tons of scrutiny. They know he's not going to be on the team next year. You have Trey Lance, who they gave up so much draft capital for to get. So to have Trey Lance sitting on the bench, and anytime Jimmy G does something bad, it just makes the fans jump out of their skin. So he threw a nice touchdown pass before, but there's no way they're happy with that. That was a horrendously bad pass by Jimmy G.
So we get to see Wilson.
We get to see Russell Wilson in a good situation. Like he's going to be taking over on San Francisco's 30-yard line. So that's a huge turnover. I mean, we're 8 minutes into this game, and we've seen a terrifying injury. We've seen a fumble recovery. We've seen
a fake punt for a touchdown. We haven't seen a real sustained drive by either team.
Right. That's what we haven't seen.
Yeah.
That's what we haven't seen. And here's Seattle, 1-yard run. So San Francisco's defense is stopping the run, and there's a flag. So it could be even worse for Seattle. Because if they held on that play and they still only got 1 yard, you have to start really wondering. About the defense. And you know who's missing? I have a friend in Ireland who said he can't wait to see this game called by us. So, liberal Irishman, where are you? It's no excuse. It's in Ireland right now. It's 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. You should be with us. It's evening time with you.
One way we're kind of surprised, but the other way, there were 3-8 teams, Seattle. How surprised should we be?
They're 3-8, but they're much better than their record.
That's what we're saying. But maybe we're wrong. Maybe they're not better than their record.
Well,
right?
I'm not surprised that San Francisco's defense is stuffing their run.
Maybe they're the Jets. Maybe they're the Jets in Seattle clothing.
Look, I have nothing personal against Seattle at all. I have no problem with the Seattle Seahawks. They've never done anything to really take anything away from any of the teams I like. This is about, for Jets fans, this is about draft position.
Sure.
So we would love it if this is Seattle's bad year. This is the first time they've had this would be the first time they had a losing record. It feels like forever. Is that a fumble or an incomplete pass? I think Seattle just got the ball back. Every time we talk about one team being bad or something bad happening.
You mean Niners got it back?
No, it looks like Seattle got it back. I'm sorry. It looks like Seattle was able to fall on it, but there was but that's a drive killing fumble, I would think. So Wilson there's no way his arm was moving forward. That's a fumble. This is going to be a second down, and I don't know. Now it's going to be like 2nd and 30.
But they had great field position. Are they still in field goal range?
No, that might put them out of field goal range. He dropped the ball at the 50-yard line. That ball rolls back to, my God, like the 43. San Francisco 43. It's 2nd and 43 right now.
Second and
43. They're at their own 39-yard line.
Draw play, right? It's got to be a draw play.
And that's what it is. It's a running play, a draw play. And he runs it for 10 yards to the 50-yard line.
They give you 10 because you need 43.
Yeah, he's back to the Seattle 49. That was actually a good play because now they have a chance now if they can complete 3rd and 32. You got to think they're playing field goal range now.
Field goal is all they can be going for, right?
Yeah.
Get another 10 yards, and you're looking at a 57-yarder. Can they hit that?
They have a good field goal kicker because it's not the Jets. So if you have the Jets field goal kicker who can't kick extra points, the new guy they put in for Amendola, which will be
that was crazy.
That was crazy. So he fades back. He's looking. He's under pressure. He takes off with the ball. He is at the 36-yard line of San Francisco, 46-53.
That's what we're talking about. 53-yarder.
Oh, there's a flag.
Holding.
The flag. Let's see what it was. It holding, or it could be. I can't see where the flag was. It could be a
Offense
late hit on
holding.
Russell Wilson. That's what you're predicting? Offensive holding?
Yeah, that's what I'm predicting.
I don't know. It looks like Seattle's arguing with the refs. Seattle, Seattle's arguing with the refs, so not looking good for Seattle. I think, are they calling it a late hit on San Francisco? That's ridiculous. He's a running back in this play. There's no way you can call a late hit. Well, he's down. His knees are down. The Niner fell on top of him. There was no hard hit there. No. Okay, they called it back. There's no penalty. They're going for a field goal. Here it is. It is no good. Wide right.
Whew.
Wide right.
So they are the Jets, like I said, in Seattle.
Wide right. What hurts them on that is it gives San Francisco very good field position, a momentum changer. So
I don't think there's been momentum in this game. Momentum is something that it sticks with you. Like that's what momentum means. Look up momentum.
There's no momentum. There is back and forth mistakes and
back
big
and forth mistakes does not momentum make.
Right. There was potential.
No, Jeremy, that is back and back mistake. That is not how momentum make.
Now we're cravat attack. So I would say that Seattle did look like they had a ton of momentum at one point of the game. When in the beginning, when they faked that punt and did the big, like there was a time where it looked like a huge momentum for Seattle. It didn't last long or sustain. And you're right. Since then, there hasn't been any real momentum because nobody is able to hold it.
Okay, here's what I'm going to say about that claim, that momentum claim. To get momentum, you can't have a trick play. A trick play where your quarterback isn't even involved, isn't bringing momentum to your players that are having to feel a momentum.
I would say yes and no to that. A fake punt that gets a touchdown sometimes turns the momentum of the game. Anything, even if it has nothing to do with the team. A turnover, a fumble where the other guy drops the ball and you pick it up. Any stupid play. They didn't capitalize on it. They didn't make it. It turned out, you're right, not to be the momentum changer that changes the game. But every play that's big for one team or the other, no matter how it comes about, is a potential momentum builder.
It's potential, but I think it's for most of them are for fans. Fans feel the momentum. Yeah. But if
50-yard line, he pitches it back. It has potential to work. He pulls within a yard. So on 2nd and 6, they make it 3rd and 1, I think. But they're trying to say first down. Sorry, Lee.
No. I mean, to me, if Wilson throws that pass, a touchdown pass like that, if they go for it on 4th and he throws a touchdown pass, that's a momentum builder.
3rd and 1. Did they bring Trey Lance in? No. It looks like they held him, stopped him behind the line of scrimmage. And makes it 4th down. No, what I'm saying is, though, a fake punt can change the momentum of the game.
Okay.
I mean, it's happened. We've seen it. We've seen a fake punt change the momentum of a game. We've seen, here it is, 4th and 1. Garoppolo does a quarterback sneak and looks like he has it. What I'm saying is that could be a momentum changer. I'm not saying it is.
I think if it's a game that means something and the players are super united and feeling it together and you're in the game and you need to come back and you pull that off, I think that fires everybody up. To start a game, you get a trick play, the quarterback's not involved. I just don't know how infectious that is for your key players on offense.
Yeah, well, it didn't sustain. That's the key. It could have been a momentum change, right? And it didn't.
To me, the situation would have to be different.
If Seattle would have done that after that, stopped San Francisco right away and scored a touchdown and didn't do that fumble, and it would have been the play that changed, that turned the tide of the game or changed the tone of the game.
Yeah.
So can we agree on that?
Yeah, sure.
Nobody has momentum.
Didn't have a tide yet. The game didn't have a tide yet. It's too early. Trick play.
Yeah. Bullshit. Right. I'm just saying it was looking like Seattle wasn't looking good, and then they made something good happen. Beautiful pass by Jimmy G. No, it wasn't. I spoke too soon. It looked like it was a beautiful pass, but when it got to the receiver, I think that was the Juice, their fullback, it was way too high. It looked good to start, but there's no way you could say you expected him to catch that. He almost made a brilliant catch.
So we're going to see a quarterback change during this game for the Niners?
I don't think so, because they're 6-5. They're still in the playoff hunt. I don't think they're going to bring in the rookie unless the game got out of hand. It's tied right now. I just don't see them doing it.
All right.
Nice pass there to Juice for an 8-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 2.
And they were also in Seattle, so you don't have the fans pressuring the coach, right?
Okay, so I'm going to get some support here, Lee. I'm sorry for you, but John Post says, wait, is he saying special teams can't change the momentum of a game?
That's not what I said. Listen up, buddy. Listen up. I said that if you're in a game, at a point in the game where it's critical and the whole team is super united and focused, and they're like, we got to come back, and special teams nails a play like that, absolutely, but not at the beginning of a game when the question is about the quarterback.
Oh, big play here. Big plays. Big play to Kittles, and Kittles won't go down and takes it all the way to the 9-yard line. So a little drop-off pass to Kittle, and Kittle turns it, like he always does, into a huge yards after catch. And
it's situational, buddy. That wasn't the situation.
John Post is busting your chops, and understand that most of my followers are Jets fans, so you're going to get your chops busted a lot on this channel. That was a beautiful play by Kittle. That is exactly why the Jets need a tight end. That's exactly why we say that Zach Wilson, not only do you got to give him time before you fully evaluate him, you got to give Zach Wilson a player like that. You have to get a tight end like that who can get yards after the catch. Elijah Moore does that from the wide receiver role. That's what he's going to be. That he still makes mistakes, but a tight end is made to be that kind of player on the field. They're made to be that big, strong guy, and if they can catch the ball and get into the open, that's what a tight end does for you, and that's what Zach Wilson needs on the Jets for sure. It's what every quarterback needs. Anyway, we got 2nd and goal right now. They're at the 2.5, 3-yard line. And it looks like they're in. There was a running play right through the tackles, and it looks like what's his face? Who is that? It is Mitchell. Mitchell looks like he is in the end zone for a touchdown. That's what they call it. It's ruled a touchdown. It's 13-7, and there you go. Touchdowns 49ers. They take the lead, and again, nothing against Seattle, but good for Jet fans. I don't see Jamal Adams anywhere. Is he hurt today? He's like the invisible man. And the reason I bring that up is a lot of people, I don't know if there are Seattle fans that agree with me 100% that are so pissed. And it's not bad play. Like, forget about that. It's not like, oh, it's his fault. It's bad play. It's that when you give up 2 first-round picks and a 3rd-round pick and McDougal, and all the Jets give you back is Jamal Adams and I think a 6th-round draft pick or a 5th-round draft pick. When you make that kind of trade and then you pay a player, so they gave up all that capital and they gave up $17.5 million a year for 4 years. You need a safety that's in every play, that you see him all the time.
That the team,
right?
Well, maybe they're afraid of him. They're afraid of him not going his way, maybe.
No, well, they just showed him get blocked out of that play.
Yeah.
And I've seen it so many times this year where he made one, and the announcers are very Jamal Adams biased. There's so much bias for this player. The announcers do everything they can to build him up. He made a good play last week where he was trying to go for the sack and he kept going to stop the running play. And the announcers literally said this. They said, credit to Jamal Williams for not giving up, for continuing to try to push past the defender. Really? Really? That's what you're going to call? Really? That's what you're going to talk about? You're going to say credit to Jamal Adams for not giving up? You mean you're going to give credit to a player, any player, I don't care if they're a rookie, for not stopping, for not just giving up on a play? You're going to call that out? That's Jamal Adams' big play? That's how you're going to justify $17.5 million and justify trying to pretend he's a great safety? Really? You got to be kidding me. It was absolutely appalling how the announcers look to pretend that this guy is a star. He is not a star. He is playing like middle of the road average safety who makes some big plays. Yes, last year he got 9 sacks, which is a lot for a safety. Well, guess what? They blitzed him a lot. They blitzed, and he didn't get picked up. It's not like he was sitting there like a defensive end with the curve and the bends and making amazing defensive pressures and sacking the quarterback. He was blitzing, and they fooled the offense, and he would get through. And now people are looking for that. You know how many sacks he has this year? 0, with about 2 pressures. Because now when you play Seattle, you're looking for Jamal Adams to blitz, right? Because he got 9 sacks last year. And guess what? When they put a guy on him, he is not getting those sacks.
So you're happy with the trade?
I'm happy with the trade, and I'm enraged because I don't like when they defend him.
You want everybody to know it was a good trade by the Jets.
I want everyone to know also that he's a fraud because he opened up his mouth and he wouldn't shut up, and he attacked everyone in the Jets organization. And he attacked Joe Douglas, who's our guy that we love, that we know is a great GM, and he proved it. Because not only did they get all that capital for Jamal Adams, it was after Jamal Adams was hated the organization and was talking against the organization. So you're supposed to get fleeced in a situation like
because
that.
you got to get rid of that guy.
Right. Everybody knew the return, by the way, is to the 25-yard line. Big surprise. So that's the guy.
Let's risk an injury to find out.
That's a situation where you get fleeced. That's a situation where you get fleeced.
You got to trade the guy. Obviously.
You have to trade the guy. And Seattle acted as though they were prying out this Hall of Fame safety that we didn't want to let go of. Because who gives up 2 first-round picks, a 3rd-round pick, and McDougal, a player, an average player, for a safety? You got to be kidding me. Especially in Seattle's scheme. Every safety they've had has succeeded. They've had star safeties because of their scheme. Russell Wilson drops back and takes a sack.
Oh.
They were all over him. They went right through the defensive line. And is it safe to say now that San Francisco has established some momentum?
But they did it with their first sustained drive.
Yes.
Not a trick play.
Yes, that's true. And their defense has been playing well, but now they're starting to really put an exclamation point on it. And frankly, Seattle is definitely going to have to look for offensive linemen. The problem is there's good and bad for Seattle. The problem is this is a great draft if you need offensive line to build your offensive line to have a top 10 pick because you have a potential all-pro offensive tackle in Neal, and you have an amazing guard in Kenyon Green. Okay, so here we go. It's 3rd and 19. Looks like a flag, so we'll see what that is all about. They may have gotten – we'll see what it is. Was it offense moved? They'll be pushed back further. So it'll be like 3rd and 24 now. So this was a great draft. This is the bad. To have a high pick because they could have traded back and taken the Kenyon Green looks like AVT for the Jets. Like he looks like he's going to be an insane offensive lineman. There's also they could have traded back and taken the guy from North Carolina who's looking like a hybrid. He could be a tackle or an offensive lineman. Oh, here we go on the play. Quick pass across the middle. That was just to get some yards and get them in better punting position. That was a field goal position play. It worked. They got about 10 yards, and now they'll punt.
So that fake punt by Seattle, I'm just going to say last time, that was a desperation move to create momentum where there was none.
Right.
That's what that was.
They just needed to make something happen.
They got a touchdown, but they didn't get momentum. They got a touchdown.
Okay.
No, because what are they playing for? They're 3-8, for goodness sake.
Right.
Niners, you can see momentum. I believe that because they're playing for something here.
Seattle's doing everything in their power to do something positive. Anyway, going back to the draft, the good news for Seattle is that it is a very deep draft in the offensive line. So they can, if with their second pick, if they're in the top 5, if they have this horrible year, they're still going to have a top 35 pick, and they're going to be able to get a very good offensive guard, possibly a plug-in tackle that is a little bit more risky in the second round. They're not going to get the top guy, but they easily can get a very good guard. They could easily get a stud center. I don't know enough about Seattle's offensive line to know if they need to replace their center, if that's the problem. But there's going to be a lot there for Seattle in the later rounds. But they're definitely missing out on getting a blue chip offensive lineman in the first round, and that's the cost of Jamal Adams.
And that's going to go to the Jets. The Jets are going to get that lineman.
Right. $17.5 million. You're paying him a year. Right?
So now, how do you feel about Jamal Adams? How do you feel about him?
No, I mean, look, I think he's an average to good safety. I think if you're paying him $10 million, fine. If he's making $10 million to $11 million a year, fine. If you traded a third-round pick for him or a second-round pick for him, fine. It's the price that they paid for him that's the problem.
He's worth $10 million in a second-round pick. That's what you.
Well, that's what he's playing like. Last year, he was playing like a second and a third, and he's worth $13 million, right? Because he got those sacks and whatever. Although Greenby would argue he got a lot of those sacks within a few games against some weak teams when they didn't matter.
But there is some bias between you and the Greenby, right?
There's some bias. I don't think that there are Seattle fans that agree with us, by the way. Some Seattle fans are saying, well, Seattle doesn't really do a lot with their first round picks. So which is crazy, right? Because they haven't had success with their first round picks. You can't tell me you don't want the number 4 pick in the draft this year. You can't tell me that. Not with the talent that's out there. And guess what? With the number 4, Seattle might end up with the pick that could have gotten them Kyle Hamilton, a safety that's looking like he's the next Ed Reed. So they definitely want that pick. Not that they would have went that way.
All right, get back to the game, buddy.
There's a punt, a long punt. San Francisco fields it, though, and is running it back. So he's very good run back. So it's a very long punt, but with a nice 15-yard return that brings them close to the 40-yard line. The San Francisco on their own 40-yard line, I would say. Something around there, which puts them in good field position. You start at your own 40, that's good field position. That's not what you want to do if you're Seattle right now.
I'm going to go back to this Wilson question. He's averaging right now, he keeps going the way he's going. He's under 100 yards for the day. Right? He's having a bad day.
He is.
He's 6 for 7, but with no yards.
He is. I haven't seen it because of his hand, though. I'm not seeing it in his throwing. I'm seeing it in he has no protection. And I'm seeing it in, and Seattle fans might hate this if they hear this, but I'm going to throw this out there. There's a possibility that Zach Wilson has got to into a part of his career where
Zach Wilson.
Russell Wilson has got to the part of his career where he's not.
An easy mistake. Zach, 4 letters.
Okay, Russell Wilson. There's a point. There's a possibility he got to a point of his career where he lost a step, so his feet is not helping him as much as it used to. Running play goes nowhere at first, but his second effort gets him 8 yards. Incredible. Mitchell, incredible effort.
Now you have me thinking. I think Russell has 7 letters and Zachary has 7 letters. Russ and Zach have 4 letters. I really can't see why you mix those up.
I got to do one thing. Lee, hold down the fort.
I can't see the game.
I know.
I'm way behind. But I'll say, I guess next time I'll drink some rum so I can go off more on momentum. It's something I continue to insist. Most of the time it doesn't exist. First the team does good, but then it's really sad because right away they then do something bad.
Running play to Mitchell. Got the first down. I think that Seattle is trying to do something to establish a running game here. I think they're not giving up on that. They feel that they're going to need that if they have any chance. So that's what we're seeing.
Hey, improvised a pretty good rhyme while you were gone.
I've heard that 3-yard
wrap.
run.
Huh?
3-yard run right now. It was just a 3-yard run.
Are you eating?
I'm trying to eat because I have been online all day. I haven't eaten anything today. So
Well,
I am trying to set up a situation where I can eat.
I
can
went to
cuss.
my brother's mother-in-law's house. I don't know what that is called. Mother-in-law once removed. I don't know. And she makes incredible Indian food.
Mhm.
So I ate probably a day's worth of food in about 22 minutes.
A huge play for San Francisco. Huge play. Where did they run to? Oh my
What
God!
happened?
Huge run. They're at the Seattle. They were at the 40. They're now at Seattle's 27-yard line with the first down.
See, this is momentum, right? They scored. They drove last time. They're driving this time. I don't know. I stick a fork in Seattle for the season. They're not making the playoffs. There's no way.
They're in big trouble. Huge run, first down, 10-yard run. There's a flag. This could save Seattle for now.
Yeah, eating a French fry.
It's holding. It's holding.
You know, I ate all that food, but I'm hungry now watching you. Eating food that I would never eat. I would never eat that food anyway. But
Wait a second. Have you went to DeFaro yet?
yes, went to DeFaro's yesterday.
How was it? What's your?
This is, by the way, people have to understand. This isn't New York DeFaro's. This is the son, Jeremy, the nephew, the son,
The nephew.
the nephew in Cary, North Carolina, charging a lot more than the other pizzerias in North Carolina. But I must say, I'm a crust guy, and the crust, and this is a very interesting pizza, by the way, because it's kind of a cross between a Neapolitan that you might find at John's and Brooklyn pizza that you might find at Bruno's. It's like a cross. The crust is like a John's crust, which I freaking love, and I'm a crust guy. I'd give it a 10. What's going on with the game, Jeremy?
It's 2nd and 20, incomplete pass to George Kittle. The Niners are lining up right now again in the shotgun. Whistle's blown. Penalty. We'll see what it is.
I'm going to give the crust a 9 or a 10. A 10 might be pushing it because what I like about John's in New York on Bleecker and on 44th and 8th, the two Johns there, is that it has some burnt spots. Just some. And it makes it fantastic. This didn't have any burnt spots, but it had the same incredible crispy texture on the outside, a little bit soft in between. Oh, it was just beautiful crust. Beautiful crust.
Illegal motion, 2nd and 25.
And you want me to go on?
Mm-hmm.
The sauce.
One sec. So we're going to talk about the sauce after this play.
Yeah. So I paused.
Jimmy G, short little pass, little dump off pass, gets about 6 yards. It's going to be like 3rd and 19. Now they're playing for a field goal. I think they just need like a 10-yard play to be in field goal range.
There you go. Watch for the draw. No, last time I said draw was 43. This time you do a short pass, and they're gonna be guarding against a longer pass. So, and then sometimes you end up running it for a first down anyway. So you definitely try it.
Come.
Not that I can see the game.
All right, Jimmy G, 3rd and 21.
8-yard pass.
Quick
They
pass.
got to run for the first down.
Quick pass for about 7 yards.
Yeah.
Enough to make a field goal reasonable.
And maybe you get a first down run, but obviously they didn't. Yeah, so the sauce was actually reasonably sweet and very tomatoey. It tasted fresh. I'm no expert. Matthew also liked it, our other brother. I would say the sauce, I would give 7 to 8 to the sauce. So it's good sauce. I liked it a lot. I think they could have used more sauce. Like when you got a batch of a lot of sauce, It was very, very, very good. So I would say taste 9. How much there was? 6. So maybe I give them a 7.5 on the sauce overall. Are they going for the field goal now?
They just got it. It's in. Good.
Right. And then the last thing, I'm a cheese guy too. So for me, it's crust cheese sauce. And the cheese, in my opinion, that was like a 6, the cheese.
Mm.
So the cheese just didn't have, I can't, you describe it well. Because Mamma Mia's here, the cheese, it has this flavor that's just delicious, this cheesy goodness that blows me away. John's has that even more. Like the taste is phenomenal of the cheese. This cheese just was like cheese. It wasn't cheesy. It wasn't, that magic wasn't there. So I'm giving it, a 5 or a 6 on the cheese. And so to me, I would go back because it's hard to, I don't get that crust outside of New York. So to get that crust, I'm going back. Okay. But it's not magical because the cheese let me down.
Mm-hmm.
I can't wait for you to try it and tell me I'm full of shit. Excuse my language. Jeremy, you're eating a second time?
No. That was 9.
Every 3 hours, I got to eat.
That was 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was eating those popcorn triangle chips, the chips that are made of popcorn.
Yeah. They're healthy,
Mm-hmm.
They're made from vegetables.
What are they called again, John? You know what they're called. You guys in the Midwest are all over that snack. Pop chips or something.
Pop chips.
And I was eating some. It wasn't a ton.
The chips
that was
made out of popcorn. What are they called?
And then I was eating it on Green Bean Stream also. I was eating some of them. But that's all I had.
I'm hungry. I get hungrier more often here when I stay with mom and dad because everywhere you look, there's chocolate. There's Raisinets over here. There's chocolate-covered coffee beans over here, which I've been eating, so you can probably tell that. There's chocolate mints over there. There's chocolate-covered cherries with the alcohol in the middle over there. And it makes you hungrier and hungrier the more that you eat it. Wouldn't you agree, Jeremy? Jeremy, you're on mute.
I know. No, I muted on purpose. Here comes I was talking to Jocelyn, trying to get her to drop off some stuff without coming on camera. Like it would be not like I can't leave the food because the dog will eat it, but I don't have any ketchup and I don't have anything to drink. So I'm hurting here. Here we go. I should probably use some hot sauce. Oh. Okay, here we go. I'm guessing Seattle is somewhere around the 25-yard line because that never happens. Every year they talk about voting for that, like just to automatically start the other team on the 25. Except
it doesn't last a lot. It doesn't add a lot to the game. Once in a while, but not often.
Well, they have to give an option to kick because you need to do the onside kick. But then if a team but most people know you're going to do the onside kick anyway.
Yes. Once in a while, when it doesn't seem like it's called for, a team will do it. And that would ruin that effect. That is almost never done.
2nd and 3. Beautiful pass to Metcalf. Beautiful, like 10-yard pass slant.
That's his first one. That's his first good, like really good pass completion.
Well, he got rid of the ball fast. And that's the offense they're going to have to play is quick slants because their offensive line is just horrendous. And I no longer know if he has the legs, like I was talking about earlier, to get away from it. That was a great running play for like 7 yards. Looks like Seattle got some momentum. No reaction to that?
Momentum. That's because I'm texting my wife telling her to check out your channel. But I don't know if she knows how to do that.
This is my 3rd stream of the day. So.
All right, I told her.
I'm basically hanging out with John Post today, all day.
So what's going on now? I want to know. Get to your job.
Russell Wilson threw it backwards to somebody who threw it into the end zone and out of the hands.
Oh, Jeremy, would that have built momentum?
No, I agree with you. That would have been Pete Carroll is pulling out everything he can because he knows he's outmatched, but and these guys aren't playing as well as the other team.
I mean,
So
to
he's
me,
doing
sending a
everything he
message
can.
to his team saying we can't play straight up football right now and win.
That was very close to being one of the highlights of the year kind of play. It looks like he turned around Russell Wilson and threw it backwards to, I think, DJ Metcalf, who then threw a bomb into the end zone, a beautiful pass that just came off the hands of Lockett, their other great receiver.
Maybe Metcalf is why they don't care if Wilson gets hurt. Maybe next year Metcalf's their starting QB.
Maybe.
I'm kidding.
What everybody forgets is almost every NFL running back and wide receiver.
What are you eating now?
Cheeseburger.
Ugh.
Almost every NFL running back or wide receiver have played quarterback in their life. They were the stars when they were kids. So it's not so shocking that on a random trick play, when they throw the ball well, because they were all great athletes. They're all amazing.
Yeah,
athletes.
like Mark Slew, right? He was the quarterback for us, but in
Mhm.
high school he was on the line.
Right.
I mean, but he was a quarterback to me. He'll always be a quarterback.
But we have thrown, you and me, have thrown beautiful 30-yard spirals to each other, having a catch. So it's not, I don't know why people act so mind-boggled when a wide receiver takes the ball and throws a nice 35-yard pass into the end zone. We've done it. It's about being able to read defenses and playing quarterback in the NFL. But on a random trick play, just to make a good throw, it's not so unbelievable.
There was a summer when I had this summer job and I was in North Carolina, actually, and I was with a bunch of people here I knew, and we played two-hand touch. And I said I'd be quarterback because nobody else wanted to for one of the teams. And I didn't know I could quarterback, but I was throwing and I was hitting people in the hands and they were catching it. I mean, we just from playing catch, but we would suck. We would get destroyed in the NFL. We would get destroyed in high school. We would get destroyed in middle school. But two-hand touch, with other people that suck, we could do.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to get momentum back. He does something right. We got momentum. Till the next play.
Trying to get momentum back.
Come on, talk about the game, Jeremy.
Commercial.
Oh, I can't see, so I don't know.
There's an injury. Third and 3. Here we go. Running play, a lot of penetration. Stopped him about a year. No, maybe not. He's still pushing, and I think he got the first down. Amazing effort. That's about as good an effort as you're going to see from a wide receiver. From a running back ever in your life.
That's ever in my life?
No, I mean as good. As good. Like you can't have. I mean, that's as much effort as you're going to see from a running back.
I remember Larry Zonk on the Giants. Every play, he dragged people, grabbing his body. He never didn't get 3 or 4 yards.
He was stopped by a guy, and there were 3 or 4 guys, and then he just would not go down and stop moving forward. And his offensive line then came to help him. Is that Adrian Peterson? I think that was Adrian Peterson. Holy cow, he's like 37.
Tell Brady.
Screen pass. Tackled 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
So tell me this. I'm looking at probably something I missed here. I believe it. It was a moment of lack of knowledge, another lack of knowledge for me. But I'm looking here at the stats for the game. I'm looking under passing for Seattle. I'm seeing Wilson at 8 for 10, 41 yards, but I'm not seeing Metcalf. And if he did that pass, shouldn't he be here? He was behind the line of scrimmage.
There should be something up there. It was definitely a pass.
He should be 0 for 1, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
3rd and 9. Whistle's blowing again. Somebody messed up. It's against Seattle. Oh no, timeout. So that stinks for them. They couldn't get a playoff on time. That's not looking too good. I'll be right back. It's a timeout right now.
Jeremy leaves me alone. I wanna cry. He left because he had to go get more fries because he wanted to eat them. What do you think about that? My brother Jeremy, that's why he's getting fat. He'll eat anything. He'll even plug it. The last thing he talked about was a chicken McNugget. I don't know where he is now. He's got a dog, Ramsey. Maybe he's taking him out for a walk. I can't see the game, so I can't tell you what's going on.
Okay, here comes the play. 3rd and 9. Russell Wilson drops back. And the flag goes again. There's another flag. Whistle blows again, another flag.
Did they get the playoff this time?
Delay a game. So they just got a flag on 3rd and 9 after calling a timeout to delay a game. That's unbelievable.
I think
that's the Jets.
You said the same thing last week. You said it should never happen. I think it was the Chargers.
The Jets did it.
What are you eating now?
Same burger.
It's just a regular cheeseburger. It's got to be like a double quarter pounder or something.
Ooh. Touchdown. Metcalf. Deep pass. Touchdown. No, 1st and goal. They're ruling him down at the 1. I got some. They're ruling him down at the 1. What a big play. If Seattle scores right now, it's a 3-point game again.
And they'll have them. I'm saying they're gaining some momentum now. No flea flick or anything like that. Just normal, straight up football.
And we got a Niner down on defense. The safety.
You know, as much as I hate McDonald's, you're making me hungry, dude. And I had a big lunch. And I had bagel breakfast this morning.
I will say that the Niners have key injuries. I mean, their biggest offensive weapon is injured, not in this game. D.D. Samuel.
Why are you laughing?
No, I'm saying so. Seattle's really got some issues because they should be eating the Niners for lunch today. If they were
the last time I heard the name D.D. was the guy who used to cut my hair. He also cut my wife Kathy's hair for our wedding and mine. And he cut Shayna's hair, which her hair was cut the first time. The music is unacceptable. Well, you're going to get a lot more of it.
No, I'm saying that this is not the normal Seattle Seahawks because they would usually be all over the Niners. Their defense, if you're missing like your big playmaker. I think it's Deebo Samuel. I think it's Debo
I
Samuel.
can't believe you haven't finished your food yet. I'm saying that because I remember when I don't eat McDonald's anymore because last time I ate him pukey. But I used to get 4 cheeseburgers when they were 25 cents each. And on my way home from work at like 10 p.m. and I used to get 4 of them and fries. And I lived 5 minutes from McDonald's. Before I got home, I ate all 4 cheeseburgers in the car
Well, the issue is
while I was driving.
that I'm having to stop constantly to talk. So I'm taking one bite and I'm talking. And it just seems that when you're watching a game and you're not having to call the game, that it takes longer for every play. But when I'm doing this, it's like there's never a break. Here we go again. First down from like the 4-yard line. Wilson takes the snap. He fakes the handoff. He throws into the end zone. Well defended. Flag. Maybe not so well defended.
Flag, pass interference.
Ball will go to the 1-yard line.
First down. Do you think the Jets got bad calls today? Bad calls.
That was just bad. I'm not using it as an excuse that we lost the game. The defense played like crap, but there were some calls there that were outright just makes you wonder that there really is a directive of the NFL. Like when you have a team playing for the playoffs and another team where the game doesn't mean that much to them, and they just ran it in for a touchdown, by the way, which we expected. It's plays like that make you feel that way because or calls like that because Bryce Hall touched a receiver's arm. Touched him. They literally held Elijah Moore back from being able to run, and they didn't call it. And it was so clear and obvious. The cornerback had both hands on his waist, and the ball was overthrown because Elijah Moore couldn't run. And as it happened, Elijah Moore was holding his hands up, going, "Why aren't look, he's holding me." It was absolutely atrocious. I mean, it's just it makes you think, and it's like there should be a way to file complaints to the commissioner and have them relook at that and hold referees accountable because it's unacceptable.
I don't want to start something new if the game's about to do a play. How's it going?
Well, they scored a touchdown.
Yeah, so we'll be waiting a while.
It was first and on the 1. You know.
So they're going for a 1 point or 2 point conversion.
Sorry, my wife is giving me a hard time. I had no time to set up, so I'm downstairs, and she's like basically kicking me out. So we're gonna wait till halftime.
I understand that. Grandma and Grandpa, well, my mom and Dad kicked me out. Hey, so do they go for 1 point or 2 points? 1. There was an interesting time during the Jets game. It was very interesting. It was 21-18. Both teams had scored 3 touchdowns. And I said to Matthew, this is back before the Jets shut down and stopped scoring. I said, it's going to end up being 36-35 Jets. The Jets will score 6 touchdowns, no additional points, and it'll be 36-35, 5 touchdowns on the other side. But the Jets stopped scoring. So
here's the kickoff. Touchback, 25-yard line.
You know what room I'm in?
Well,
do you know what room I'm in?
The main room.
The main room.
You're in the back bedroom.
Yeah, well, the first one in the back.
Mm-hmm.
I tried setting up other places. This was the best.
So you're sitting at the desk.
I'm sitting at the desk. I am, yeah.
Are you on Dad's Mac?
No, I have my laptop. I pushed his keyboard out of the way. And the lights are focused on Art that's in front, not Art. Pictures he took. No, pictures of you and me and Matthew with our wives instead of on me. That's why I'm yellow. Also, I'm scared of things.
How long are you in North Carolina for?
I'm heading to DC Tuesday morning. I'll give a little plug. I'm interviewing Jigger Shaw Thursday morning at a conference. He is the person who innovated the business model around no money down or no money period solar. You know, you get it on your roof for free, and he kind of made that up. That's what innovation means. He made the business model mostly for companies, or all for companies, not for individuals. But he really started the whole solar ball rolling. So I'll be interviewing him. It's called a fireside chat because he has agreed to do Karma Sauce hot sauce shots with me as we do the interview. And at the end of the interview, I'm going to put him in the hot seat.
First and 10.
Yeah.
He pitches the ball. They stop the play and do a flag. So we'll find out what that is.
So he'll be doing good karma, then
That's
bad
right.
karma, good karma, bad karma, cherry bomb, Ghost Island. And for cleanup, we have Funkin' Hot, which is very hot. Nice hot sauce. So I don't know if he'll make it to Funkin' Hot, but we also bought hot sauce for everybody at the conference to have some. Like every table can have one of each if they want. Although I don't think many people should really even go to Ghost Island. It's probably too hot for most people. Like cherry bomb will probably freak them out and they'll stop. But I guess many shouldn't even do cherry bomb. But anyway, it's going to be fun interviewing him. For those of you that don't know, Jeremy and I and our brother Matthew are Cravat Attack. We have a YouTube channel called
Incomplete Pass, 2nd and 15. Go ahead.
And on Cravat Attack, we review a couple of hot sauces each show, usually a mild one and a hot one. We have some special shows we've done where we've outbid each other to see who has to have the hottest hot sauce. Jeremy really lost out on our hot bids episode if you wanted to check that out. And just carrying that forward into my energy gig. Whole hot sauce theme.
Second
And
and
I wrap
15.
at the end.
Jimmy G is in shotgun.
Adrenaline.
Gets rid of it. Short pass. Yards after catch. Gain about 7 yards, maybe. Bring like a 3rd and 8. 3rd and 7. This is where you start to notice Samuel being not in the game for the Niners. He was their workhorse. They use him as a wide receiver and a running back.
So I'm looking for Jamal Adams. He has another tackle.
He's a decent enough safety that makes tackles when it's,
I understand. He's just not a $17 million multiple draft choice kind of guy.
You just don't see him all over the field. You don't see him like, the great safeties that we've seen in the NFL. Look, the Seattle Seahawks fans know what a great safety looks like. They've had a few of them over the years in the Pete Carroll era. And there's no way they can tell me that Jamal Adams is playing like those guys. So many plays where there's just a pass play by the Niners. So many plays where you don't see Jamal Adams anywhere near the ball or anywhere.
What about I'm back. I don't know.
Okay.
Jeremy, are you down? How would I even know?
I'm not down. That was you. There's 2:36 left in the half, by the way. The Niners are moving the ball well. It's 1st and 10. Another timeout or flag or something. I've never seen the whistle blow as the timeout. Seattle. Use their final timeout. So what Seattle is doing, which is a little bit of a surprise, they're gambling. I think that Seattle is hoping they could stop the Niners and get the ball back for a final chance to score. And Lee is frozen again. And I'm eating French fries. You'd think Lee being frozen would stop me. No way. I like French fries. I mean, it's not like anything's happening in the game right now. Okay. The Niners are coming up to the line of scrimmage. Jimmy G is under center. 1st and 10. Takes the snap. Hands it off to number 25, who runs for about 3 to 4 yard gain. It's Mitchell. 25 is Mitchell. I need to remember that, so I stopped calling them by number. Mitchell's having a good game for the Niners. Had some nice runs already. This 54 guy, this captain for Seattle, Warner, Wagner, he's really good. It's probably obvious. But that's a guy you'd think when you watch the Seahawks play could be making $17.5 million. I don't see anybody else that looks like a $17.5 million player. Sorry. Well, actually, they have some good defensive players. But I don't see it coming from the safety. I mean, look, he's not a weakness. Jamal Adams is not like a weakness for the team. Okay, he's not a liability out there by any means. He's a good player. I'm not trying to say otherwise. I'm trying to say is there's a salary cap, and you have to use up a certain amount of resource for people. And the amount that they're paying him is going to hurt their team. Because for that much money, you need to get better value. Because of the salary cap. There were much cheaper ways. Oh, Lee's back. I got to let him back in.
I'm back. I'm eating now. It might seem that that's why I left, but it was my parents' internet.
You figure I may as well take advantage of it. Jeremy's making me hungry.
Covered coffee beans. I wonder why I can't sleep at night.
Oh, it's probably almost 6 o'clock. It's pitch dark there.
Matthew's going to bring over some food.
What's he
I
bringing?
don't know what food he is going to bring, though.
Well, have you had burgers lately? He might bring that.
He had a burger the first night I was here.
If they're cooking, on a Sunday,
They're not cooking.
oh, he's picking up food, Chinese food.
Yeah, that wouldn't be so bad. Some dim sum.
They pick up dim sum sometimes when he brings food. There'll be some dim sum sometimes.
Is this a long 2-minute warning?
Yeah. You know, the Jets lost today, but Zach Wilson played all right. It wasn't because of him.
You feeling better about that?
Yeah, the nightmares of it, Zach. Oh, that's a first down to Kittles, and more. He is ridiculous. I mean, you want to talk about this is not just tight end. He's wide open. Tight end is easy to catch passes. This guy is one of the best yards after catch tight ends I have ever seen in my life. He breaks tackles like, remember Mark Bavaro for the Giants?
I do.
They called him Rambo. Imagine combining that with also just a ridiculous athlete, like fast, speed, and nimble. He keeps his feet in bounds, it looks like, unless they review it. It's like magic. He's running on the edge of the sideline and stays in bounds. So he's nimble. He's got amazing balance, a great presence of where he is. He never drops the ball. It's just unbelievable. He's he's so good. He's good in a different way than Gronk was. Gronk for New England and now Tampa is really good at just his size, his strength, and his breakaway, speed. Oh, they dinked the extra point. We're seeing a lot of missed extra points today. But the George Kittle, man, is like a tight end that once he gets the ball, once he's in receiver role, he's like just a big, strong, fast receiver. Amazing athlete. Just unbelievable. Anyway, missing that made it 23-14. Instead of a 10-point lead, they have a 9-point lead. That really makes Pete Carroll a little sorry. He called those timeouts probably. Definitely took the time pressure away from the Niners for doing that. But he's doing everything he can to try to win, Carroll. He's being so aggressive. Sometimes you order fries from McDonald's and they give you none. It's a giant container, has a little bit of fries in it. This time, they were like Five Guys. They just overflow. It was just overflow fries.
It's all who you get, man. It's all who you get.
Mm-hmm.
How much do they fill up that fry container? You're a fry guy.
Yeah.
Yeah?
There's lots of times I don't get fries. When it's McDonald's, I typically will get fries now because it's McDonald's fries.
I've seen you eat a lot of fries just in the last 2 weeks. Now, granted, James bought you fries the other day.
Yes.
But I didn't see you complaining.
I definitely didn't complain, even though I had just picked up chicken tenders from Safeway. Or Bonds. All right, 1st and 10. 35-yard line, good field position for Seattle. Nice pass up the middle for a 5-yard gain.
So meanwhile, Garoppolo's ending up having a pretty good quarterback game. He threw that one interception. Other than that, it's really a great game for him.
Yeah, he's playing very well if you take that away.
He's on 300, yard pace, couple of TDs.
Nice pass to Metcalf, just shy of the 50-yard line for a first down.
Looks like Wilson might be getting it together too here.
A minute 20 left. He's good in the hurry up. Here they go again on 1st and 10. Gets the ball away, almost intercepted, but made it to his receiver. Homeo, I think is his name. For a few yards, but there's a flag. Personal foul, roughing the passer.
You talking about Homer?
Yeah.
Homeo, the rodeo.
I'm reading jerseys really fast. Anyway, huge roughing the passer call. He led with his head. Can't do that. That was Key, number 98, Key, who did that. That puts Seattle in field goal range almost, or pretty much. They're right at the field goal line now after a 3-yard running play. So they're on the field goal line. So that's a tremendous penalty. They're at the 30-yard line now. So they have a chance to score because there's 56 seconds left. Nice little pass. Yeah, San Francisco all over it, though. So that's Homeo again. And the Homer, whatever.
Homer.
Same thing. That puts them at the 26-yard line. 3rd and 2. Drops back. Beautiful pass. Broken tackle. Knocked out at like the, 15? 15-yard line. 26 seconds left. He got out of bounds.
Yeah.
There's a lot of opportunity here. 2 plays to the end zone, maybe.
Somehow they have the momentum.
Oh, he overthrew Metcalf in the end zone. Still 21 seconds left. 2nd and 10. Try to sneak in a touchdown. He went right for the end zone. Quick.
Back corner right now coming up.
That's what that. Well, it was vertical, but it was towards the back corner.
No, I'm thinking coming up. Just one of those, throw it to the back corner and hope he outruns him there. Out jumps.
Well, they're not close enough to do that kind of out pattern, but they could definitely do a post. Snaps. Throws it towards the end zone. Overthrows. Overthrew Lockett, I think it was.
So what down is it? And how many yards to the goal?
Personal foul, roughing the passer again.
Oh,
It brings it to the first down at like the 7-yard line. They're doing everything they can to help Seattle get a touchdown right now.
how much time left?
Seconds, 12 seconds. $18 seconds. 1st and goals, 7-yard line. I called it perfectly. Maybe the 8s. You can argue the 8s.
Not so perfect then.
Pass, touchdown.
Like right at the middle.
Passed it to the 2-yard line, and the guy ran in. It wasn't Lockett or Metcalf. It was, I don't know if that was, it's Eskridge. So now you have a 23-20 game with the extra point coming. That was very, very ugly for San Francisco. That was a very ugly drive for the defense. Two roughing the passer penalties.
I think it's really good for Wilson, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, although he doesn't look the best he's ever looked, this is the best Russell Wilson has looked since coming back. Without question. This is the best Russell Wilson that we've seen since he's come back from the injury. And it's against a tough defense. I think that it's time that the defenses retrains on how they tackle. You cannot tackle a quarterback high. You cannot do it. Like, you have to go to the body on a quarterback. Because a lot of these calls are close enough that they probably wouldn't throw a flag. It's not the lateness. It's the helmet to helmet. It's the helmet.
It's the head. Protecting the quarterback's head. Yeah. Which they have to protect.
Mm-hmm. They're not only protecting the quarterback. Players don't realize it. When they lead with their heads, they're banging their brain around their skull too. (23-21). Extra point was perfect. Should be a 3-point game, but it's a 2-point game. It's amazing how many field goal kickers miss extra points because they made it a longer kick. It's amazing. I mean, you're talking about what, a 31-yard field goal?
Yeah, so this is a very close game. Did you expect such a close game?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I thought San Francisco, I mean, there were times during this game where I thought Seattle was in big trouble and they were against the ropes. But um, in our prediction, we had to think about it for a while.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised because, and I guess it just doesn't always matter who is more in contention. Right now, I think the coach is the difference. I think he
Yeah.
really wants to put Seattle on his shoulders
Mm-hmm.
and bring them back in the playoff hunt, which I think isn't extremely possible. I don't think it's going to happen, but he obviously thinks it could.
Yeah. Well, Pete Carroll is a competitor.
Yeah.
Like he desperately wants to win.
Yeah, I think it shows his players and his fans
Mm-hmm.
and his bosses something.
Yeah.
Really
They don't give up.
really scrappy today.
Yeah. He will not let them give up ever.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good.
There were plenty of opportunities last week for them to give up. And they never did. And they almost came back and won.
You still eating?
It's like bottomless fries.
It's bottomless fries. Red Robin.
Maybe I'll save some for jobs.
You really still have a real number of fries left?
Yeah.
That's hard to believe.
I can't get rid of them. My mouth is starting to hurt from the chewing.
Not just talking?
It's not the talking, it's the chewing.
Murray and I went out for dinner for the first time in 2 years. We went to a beer place and had some really good beer, and we both had burgers and fries. It was very nice. But my voice was hoarse afterwards. I'm not used to having to project outside over other people at other tables, and I'm out of practice.
Just so you know, John, since you're the one that's in here, Murray is my insider San Diego Charger guy, or I hope he will be, because unlike Lee, the move didn't stop, make him abandon the team. He is still diehard Chargers and apparently still follows them very closely.
He watched us last week.
He did?
And his wife Lori is a diehard Minnesota fan. I know you have a Minnesota fan, but she's crazed.
Oh, well, I could.
She curses worse than Mom when Minnesota's losing. Not that Mom curses.
I learned when I was there the last time that she is not a huge fan of Kirk Cousins. She definitely wasn't. I mentioned the name Kirk Cousins. She made a face like, but meanwhile, Kirk Cousins is having probably his best year as a Viking. Not in wins, obviously, but in touchdown to interception ratio.
The bottom line is it's the wins.
Yeah. Are we in the half? We might be in the half.
Of course we're in the half. We've been in the half for 15 minutes.
Oh, I need to do a switch of location. So I'm going to shut my camera
off. You're going to leave me alone here right now?
Well, I can still hear you and you can still hear me. But I got like a million things I got to carry with me. So that's not fun.
So my wife Kathy is turning 60, Jeremy, as you know. And I thought of a present I wanted to give her, but it took me over 10 hours working on it the last 3 days. And yesterday I worked on it 7 straight hours. I never got up, not even to go to the bathroom. When I stood up, my whole body hurt. I was like so focused on the computer trying to manipulate things to get it done. But I got it done.
What kind of video?
I'm not going to confirm that it's a video because it's a surprise what it is to Kathy.
Oh.
But I can confirm that it still needs to ship.
Okay.
So it's done, but it's unshipped. So hopefully I'll get here before she turns 60. 60. I'm married to a 60-year-old woman. I remember there were times when I looked at 30-year-old women and said, wow, that's old. I'm not dating those 30. Okay, I was wrong.
You're gonna get in trouble. Keep talking.
I was wrong. There's no one I'd rather make out with than my 60-year-old wife. Am I still going to get in trouble?
I don't know if you're making it any better.
Well, I love her a lot. More than anything. So there.
What you got to love about this channel and these broadcasts, and I'm sure we'll become a little bit more known for it, is the lack of professionalism.
I would say you're eating the fries can't possibly match me talking about how much I love my wife.
No. That is absolutely not what I meant. That you talking about your wife. When I say lack of professionalism, I mean I'm eating. We're late to the game. What was not here for kickoff. I shut the camera off so I could switch places because my wife is yelling at me that I need to get out of the downstairs. I mean, it's just real life. It's like a reality show also. You're not only
what
watching.
What you might find out is that lack of professionalism translates potentially to a lack of viewers.
There's definitely a possibility there's going to be a lack of viewers because of that long term.
Yeah.
But because I started the channel literally, what has it been, about 2 weeks now?
You can't say literally. What has it been, about 2 weeks now?
Approximately 2 weeks
When you
ago.
say literally, you have to kind of nail it. You got to know it and nail it.
Okay. Okay. It's been
I don't think you know it literally. It's like momentum.
About 2 weeks ago, I started this channel. And every time I watch a popular channel, if you go to the earliest videos, they have no production quality. It's just they're just a different version of themselves. It's just them. Now, those same guys that have like 1 million subscribers or whatever it is that are super successful, they have graphics and art and they have a format and they're professional. So I don't want to start out that way. I want people to be able to look back one day and say, look how far this channel's gone.
I do have to warn you, for every person that started out unprofessionally and it was just them, for every person that did that and now is professional, has 1 million viewers, there's 1,000 people that gave up because they never got past 10 fucking viewers. Excuse my language. You're still eating. You had a bottomless pit of French fries made with oil. You know, they deep fry that thing. Oh, it's baked now. It's baked. That used to be deep fried like the fries too. And by the way, the fact that it's baked doesn't mean it isn't going to clog your arteries. That is pure carb, sugar. You can't say it's fruit, okay?
Hey, John, if you're still out there, is there any excuse to order McDonald's and not get an apple pie?
Is there any excuse? I don't know. My excuse is the scale, buddy. That's my excuse. But I guess you're saying once you order from McDonald's, you kind of already gave up.
This is going to change really soon, but my Sunday tradition is football and McDonald's.
Oh. Sorry.
It's going to change really soon because I have to go on an intense crash diet before the wedding.
You getting married again?
No, my niece is getting married.
Your niece?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, I must be related to her. And she must be my niece also then.
Actually,
my daughter.
I don't want to give it away, but your oldest daughter is getting married.
I know. I knew a little bit before you even. Not much.
Not much.
No, we're very excited. Very excited. And my wife is turning 60.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very celebratory time. That would be your sister-in-law, by the way.
I remember her.
You know, both quarterbacks got off to a really slow start, but both are doing okay now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a very high-scoring game, mostly trick plays, sacks, turnovers. But I think the game settled down. The last quarter was nice.
Yeah, it's been a crazy game. That was a crazy first half.
The first quarter was crazier than the second. I think the second was more of a standard football.
More normal football. But it was a little strange to see, with no timeouts, how easily San Francisco let Seattle walk down the field and score that touchdown.
Yeah.
It was like their defense just was already thinking about halftime. They thought it was they thought that it was over. Like they lost all their intensity and they did nothing except commit horrible penalties. So
yeah, so this room I'm in right now is also my bedroom when I visit my folks. It just is. It has been the bedroom for so many people in the last 20 years. This guest room. You stayed here 2 months ago.
That's true. I stayed there for 11 days or 12 days.
Yeah. I think you were wearing that same shirt.
Probably was. I love this shirt. If this existed out here, I wouldn't be ordering McDonald's every Sunday. It would be White Castle Sunday,
Oh, that would kill you for sure.
Buy them by the sack.
That would kill you.
Yeah.
That would kill you.
Oh, this is not live, is it? No.
So you going back on your diet?
Oh, so that was Homeo who scored on
Homer.
Homer. That was Homer that scored on the fake punt too, by the way. Just like Homeo better.
Yeah. Yo, I know I'm not Juliet. You're not Romeo. You can't even read. His name ain't Homeo.
Well, I try, but my eyesight is bad. I haven't gotten my frames yet, and that makes me sad.
I don't think it'll help. You can holler and you can help, but new frames reading, you ain't gonna help.
Oh, fumble on the return. Fumble on the return. Who got it? Seattle's fighting for it into the pile. My rap's not popular, and that's no con. If you don't believe me, just ask John. Seattle football. That's a momentum changer.
That's a momentum changer.
No, I'm sorry. It's it's Seattle football. Fumble and recovered by Seattle.
If they don't score, that'll be a momentum changer.
Yeah. Wow, the Niners are just collapsing right now.
What's going on? You're watching it?
Seattle is running around celebrating because Homeo made the recovery. It was Homer that made the recovery. My boy Homer Homeo or Homer. He made this guy. Every time you and me start talking about or focusing on a certain player in any sport, they become a superstar.
DeClerc. We both said DeClerc.
They could throw a football uniform
on Andrew DeClerc right now, former NBA player, and he'd be a star.
Famous
because
eighth man. Famous eighth man in the NBA.
Yeah. Well, he ended up being a starter for Boston when they were a playoff team. I don't know if there was an injury that in the midseason, but he was actually in the starting rotation in the playoffs for Boston, the Boston Celtics.
The reason I liked him is how hard that man hustled. I mean, he really. I know you said, "Hey, they get paid. They should all be hustling." But I mean, he worked. He worked hard. He worked hard for it.
Yeah.
If he didn't, he wouldn't be playing in the NBA.
2nd and 5. Russell Wilson hands off to what looks like Adrian Peterson. I can't believe I'm saying that. And he goes for about 3.5 yards and only leaves 1.5 yards to go. And that might not be Adrian Peterson. It's hard to tell because Seattle goes through running backs like I go through hamburgers.
You mean slow because they talk too much?
Well, their running back, Carlson, I think, got hurt. So they picked up Adrian Peterson, but they also have other backs on the team, obviously, that were already there. I don't know. Maybe it was Homeo.
Adrian Peterson.
Guy's everywhere.
36 years old.
First down. It looks as a quick little pass to Metcalf for a first down. They're at like the 15-yard line. They're going to score again. My God.
So if I'm Seattle, what I'm really liking, even more than the fact that we're coming back, is that Wilson seems to be playing well.
Yeah.
Even without the trick plays.
Yeah. So they're showing, I don't know why they're showing Belmar. Oh, he's the one that fumbled it probably. For Seattle. Well, here, Seattle's on offense. What am I talking about? I don't know why they're showing. But anyway,
look how many fumbles you see. You see a lot of fumbles. You watch games, fumbles. How come the Jets, when the Jets play, they never recover a fumble? Like it's so rare. Just in the course of the game.
I know. Well, the lack of turnovers for the Jets is pathetic. But one of the reasons is because the other teams don't have to take big risks against us because they just do screen passes, short passes. We give tons of space. We play the zone. So we do nothing that's going to lead to turnovers. The only way to get turnovers is to force them to throw deep to put pressure on them.
No, but even fumbles. Running back up the middle.
Crazy drop. Picked up for an interception. Did it touch the ground? I don't think so. He threw the ball in the guy's hands. It popped out, and it looks like a Niner was able to get it before it hit the ground. Let me see. So Russell Wilson passes. He throws a good pass into the chest.
Homeo?
What?
Homeo?
No, Lockett. One of the most reliable receivers catches the ball, but then drops it up into the air. Like it bounced off his hand and he hit it up into the air, and a Niner came and caught it, and that could change the momentum of this game.
Yo, Wilson, he threw the ball like a rocket. That's why it bounced off the hands of Lockett. So just when you thought Seattle was on the attack, now we see the Niners with an opportunity to come back.
He actually threw that ball with some good touch, so you really can't blame Russell Wilson that much.
I can't see it because you're ahead of me. Next week, we're going to find a game that I can see.
I could always hit pause and watch on delay. But if other people are ahead, they're going to go away. Even though we only have one, there's always the replay. So before you try to say it, I knew what you were going to say.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't know. Right now they're playing a commercial about a jewelry store. Remember when the 49ers had that running back, Frank Gore?
It was a while ago.
He was a Jet last year.
So let's talk about Adrian Peterson. How could a guy 36, 37 years old, still play in the NFL.
Well, when you look at him, they were showing him on the sideline. He looks like he's 25. He's built like a rock. The guy is a health nut, clearly. Because he looks so good. He looks diesel. You look at him and you don't have problem in your mind imagining that he could be amazing just by the way he looks. He looks like a stud.
You don't have a problem in my mind watching him wolf down an apple pie, a bunch of fries and cheeseburgers from McDonald's.
No, I don't see him doing that. I see him eating vegetables and chicken and grilled and being very picky about his eating. A lot of high protein kind of thing, diet, you know.
Yeah. So you're going to start your diet?
I am. As a matter of fact, I might start after I eat my second apple pie. You know, they do like it's like a box.
Second. Hey, John, if you're still on the channel, is there any excuse not to get 2 apple pies when you order from McDonald's?
Well, you know how they bait you in? I'll tell you how they bait you in.
They don't bait me in.
You pay a few bucks for this apple pie, right? And then it says add another for 60 cents. It's really hard to justify paying $3 or whatever it is for an apple pie. And then it says 60 cents for another one and not doing it.
So you know how you stop that kind of aggressive marketing against your stomach? You cancel the first one when they offer you that second one. Then they maybe stop doing that.
Yeah.
But when you order it, you're telling them, nice ad, baby. You could talk me into anything.
Well, how about
they just garbage for 60 cents?
How about they just sell the apple pies for $1.49?
Because then you'd only buy one.
Yeah. Well, they could say for another $1, make it 2, and you get a little bit of a deal. And some people will click on the yes. It's third and 8 right. By the way, it's 3rd and 8 right now. So there was 2 wasted running plays or an incomplete pass and a running play. So San Francisco is in danger of going 3 and out, and they would have to punt from their own end zone.
You know what I think? I think McDonald's has like a thing on you.
Oh no! Oh no! Sacked in the end zone. Safety.
Safety, baby. Wow. Wow.
That means that not only does Seattle tie the game, what am I saying? Tie the game. Yeah, tie the game. Not only did they tie the game, but they
literally tie the game.
Right. Not only did they tie the game.
Now they have momentum.
No. But they get the ball back. And usually you get good field position on a safety because they have to do one of those from the 20-yard kickoff. Free punts. Yeah, free punts.
Yeah, they should get the ball to 40, something like that. Hey, Jeremy, I think it'll be, first of all, I think McDonald's has an algorithm that they start you off at 60 cents or 69. When you say yes, they say, okay, this guy will do it at that price. Next time they'll raise it. Hey, we'll give you a second one for 79 cents. If you say no, they'll go, oh, okay. And they learn. They learn your price point.
Yeah.
Watch it. They've got AI. And you don't even have eye.
I just have big stomach.
Yeah. So you should report diet progress on your channel here.
I will. I'm not starting till New Year's because it doesn't make sense to start before my birthday and the holidays and vacation. I'm starting on January 1st, and that gives me about a good 6.5 weeks before the wedding. Maybe 7 weeks, right? Yeah, maybe 7. Where I should be able to lose about 25 pounds.
I lost 25 starting last January 1st because the pandemic just killed me.
Yeah.
Ate good food, but I ate a lot of good, healthy food.
Yeah, if I could lose between 20 and 25 pounds by the wedding, I'll look a lot better and feel better and be all right.
Listen, I have put like 5 to 10 back on. So like you, January 1st, I'm going in deep again.
So Seattle, the kick was great. Seattle did a decent run back but still they're at their own 30, so it's not so bad for the Niners as far as the field position of Seattle.
Yeah, but now you got a tie game.
Now you got a tie game, and Seattle definitely has
momentum. Well, I think they do have momentum from this because now, I mean, they've been rallying. Safety is a big deal. Yes, it's well, it's not special team, but it's the defense. But they're really feeling that it isn't just their coach trying to squeeze out some victory. Now they're feeling like they can win this thing, and they want to win this thing now.
They're feeling good now. And Russell Wilson throws it to the sideline, and going out of bounds with his foot in is Lockett.
Lockett. Rocket in my pocket. Hey, Lockett.
By the way, it's like a 25-yard pass play to like the 46-yard line. They're on 46. I got to say, well, that doesn't make sense. It's 16 yards. But I got to say that Russell Wilson looks like Russell Wilson again as far as his passing.
Awesome.
So it took his finger a couple of weeks longer, 3 weeks longer than they thought to really be better. But it's definitely better now. If there was something wrong, that was my theory. There's no way I'm going to sit there and think there's something wrong with his ability to throw the football well. So it's 2nd and 7. He's under center. He's got one running back. He pulls the ball. He's back. He throws it deep right into the hands of Swain, I think that is. No, Eskridge. For like a 35-yard completion, a 30-yard completion. He threw it pretty deep. They're way into San Francisco's territory again. They are at the 32-yard line of San Francisco.
Nice.
So
Seattle, nice, really, I was hoping they would lose just to the draft pick for the Jets.
Yes, but the game is far from over, but it looks like Seattle is on their way to a scoring drive right now.
And I do really like Wilson. And I love the people of Seattle. My daughter and her fiance live there.
Yeah, look, it's like I said in the beginning, nothing against Seattle at all. I just want the draft pick. I'd like the high draft pick, not because the Jets keep losing, but because Seattle keeps losing. If they both keep losing, we're going to have 2 good picks. So Adrian Peterson just ran the ball for 2 yards. And, he's coming off. We don't let you run twice in a row, old man. You're 37.
It blows me away. 37 running back. You say 37 quarterback, I say okay. You say 37 still playing tennis. Okay. 37 still running through the line, trying to, break tackles. That's brutal. That's a brutal position. But Earl Campbell, what did he last? 3 years, 5 years?
Yeah, exactly.
He was built. He was a monster, that guy.
Russell Wilson got time, throws deep to the end zone, out of bounds. DJ Metcalf? No, he's okay. For a second, it looked like he was going to come up gimp. Okay. So he was open. Metcalf was open. The pass was just out of bounds. It was not a catchable ball. So that's on Wilson. Metcalf is screaming about it. Like he's laughing, but he's like saying, like, man, I was wide open. All he had to do was throw it past the defender. Like at all, if it was at all accurate, that's a touchdown, easy. Wilson is sacked. No protection at all for the offensive line on that one. And not only was that a sack, that is a put them at 57-yard field goal sack.
That's a reach.
Yeah. Yeah, that just may have taken them out of field goal range.
Yeah, it's still range. It's still range. It's just tough range.
Well, the problem with 57 is do you want to, if you miss it, you're giving amazing field position to Seattle. To San Francisco.
But so far, the coach is coaching with a lot of risk acceptance.
Yeah.
So far, anyway.
He doesn't have much to lose at this point. He may as well he's going all out. They are punting.
He's going all out. They are punting.
Well, it makes sense from the perspective of now it's a tie game, right? And his team is playing much better. So now maybe it doesn't make sense. Now he got his guys believing they could win. He might not think he needs to do anything strange or risky.
Right. Now they have real momentum, not manufactured. Not that artificial diamond kind of zirconium.
Now they took a 5-yard penalty, so now they're definitely out of range. But he probably wanted more room and to position the kick, and it looks like a fair catch. He holds on to it. It's always scary. 7-yard line. 7-yard line. The Niners are on the 7-yard line. The last time they were down on this part of the field, they ended up with a safety. Ended up giving Seattle 2 points from the ball back. I think that Jimmy G held on to the ball way too long before in the end zone. He should have felt the pressure. He should have known where he was, and he should have gotten rid of the ball and just punted. But he did not do that.
Hey,
He's
my
smiling.
wife was listening to the podcast, to this show a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Can you verify that?
Well, I can't see who's in the chat. I don't think I can. I'm not experienced enough in this to see who's here. I could see the comments, so they typically have to comment for me to see it. So no, but we got a few people in here now. All of a sudden. But if you don't comment, I can't see you and I can't call you out for being here. You have to comment for me to be able to do that. We got a few viewers. That's new for us on this brand new channel. Me and Lee have not had viewers yet. We had one. I haven't advertised the games, by the way, that we're even doing it, to be fair. But now we just went down to 2 because apparently it's not very entertaining listening to me talk about the fact that we don't have a lot of viewers, so maybe I should stop. It's a commercial right now because San Francisco is taking over on their own 7-yard line in a tie game, 23-23. It's the kind of game you would expect in a division rivalry. The Niners have been very good as of late. Seattle has not been very good, but they have a quarterback who's recovering from an injury. Even though he's back, that's affected his play. Also, Seattle has been very frustrated, so they definitely haven't been themselves. This is the first year in a long time we've seen Seattle struggle like this. I don't expect it to last long. Pete Carroll is too good of a coach. I think that you'll see Seattle be a much improved team next year, assuming they're able to hold on to Russell Wilson. If they lose Russell Wilson, I don't know. Hader Ali is in the chat. My brother, what's up? Of course, we're rooting for San Francisco here, and we've definitely talked about that. Like, we would love for Seattle to just keep losing, man, and keep rooting for the Jets to win, and let Seattle take care of our high pick. Tough game today, but you got to be happy with Zach Wilson. It's steps, baby steps. He had a great first half. I think he lost a lot of his rhythm because he only had like 3 snaps in the third quarter. So he lost a lot of his rhythm and his momentum. He also had a couple of drop passes that killed him. I think Zach Wilson could have had 100 yards more passing. There were 2 plays that Elijah dropped that could have been 80 to 90 yards on its own, plus some other drops. So I think he could have had over 100 yards more passing. But all in all, not a horrible day for Zach Wilson. I wish he can have that interception back. San Francisco pitches the ball, and that is Eckledge, I think is his name, number 25. And he runs for about 3 yards. And now San Francisco has 3rd and 5. I'm sorry, that was Mitchell. 25 is Mitchell. So it's 3rd and 5 right now. And San Francisco's in danger well, they had a safety before. They're in danger of 3 and out, and that is not good news for Niner fans.
You know, as crazy as it sounds, if you're Seattle and you think you might be able to make the playoffs, you might, because if Seattle beats the Niners here, the Niners will be 6-6. If the Raiders lose today, then
throws first down. I don't know who it is. Number 11. That's Hyde. Alton. So that was a beautiful pass by Jimmy G. Great protection. Receiver is wide open, and it's like, man, it makes you think. Isn't there a guy? Don't they have like a safety they pay like $17.5 million? I don't even see him. Is he hurt today? And I'm not even like joking around. I think that Jamal Adams might be hurt, because now that I think about it, I just don't see him. You saw him get a tackle before, right? Lee?
Yeah.
It's amazing. He's like the invisible man, because I don't see him on any of these plays. I never see him. Oh, almost sacked. Got the ball away through an interception. Tell me that's Jamal Adams. No, it's not Jamal Adams. Number 6, big interception for Seattle. Not good news for Jets fans or San Francisco fans. Awful pass by Jimmy G. And that, again, every time you see something like that, there's thousands of Niner fans that are screaming for Trey Lance. It doesn't matter how good Jimmy G plays when he's not making a mistake. I promise you, every time he makes a mistake, thousands of Niner fans are screaming for Trey Lance.
If they were playing in San Francisco, then they'd be hearing it big time.
Yeah. So, you ask how Jamal Adams is playing, and I said before, it doesn't feel like there's not one play we've seen where he's a liability. So he's obviously doing his job. When your name's not getting called, that means you're doing your job. But at the same time, there's no way to justify $17.5 million and 2 first-round picks and a third-round pick and McDougal for Jamal. And what was it, our 5th? There's no way to justify it. And to pay him $17.5 million. Like, I just don't see him, man. I'm literally being serious. Like when I had to ask if he was even playing. So is he having a horrible game? I don't know that he's having a horrible game. I just know that he is not a $17.5 million player. I can't see how Seahawks fans would disagree with that. Like, I'm not even saying that to be controversial. I don't think Seattle fans are very happy right now. It feels like you could have any average safety in there right now, and it wouldn't be any different. Running play here on 1st and 10. Big tackle from behind for San Francisco. It's probably a 1 to 2 yard gain. So it's going to be like 2nd and 8 now from the 20-yard line. So they're going to need a big stop here, San Francisco.
When San Francisco loses this game, they're 6-6 at 500. They'll still be at worst tied for the second wild card position.
It's just amazing the parity in the NFC. So that's a 1 yard pass play, I think.
And if Washington loses, they'll have sole possession of the wild card position.
Yep, 3rd and 6. Oh, even if they lose and Washington loses,
they're ahead of Washington by a game right now. Yeah, they both lose. They're still sole position of second wild card spot.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
But you want to put it away. You want to extend your lead. You want to secure that wild card spot.
No doubt. I'm playing with more passion than they're showing for sure.
3rd and 6. The defense is playing hard, but they've been put the backs to the wall almost the whole game. The only time the defense has failed the Niners is at the end of the half, and here comes almost sack. Into the end zone, catch, touchdown, Mitchell.
Almost sack. Touchdown.
Amazing. Russell Wilson looks like he's back. Oh, I'm sorry. That was Lockett. Lockett made that.
That's
touchdown.
Bad for the Jets draft pick. And but it's really good for Seattle fans. I mean, they might be sad about Adams, but they're super happy about Wilson.
Well, there's no question they're super happy about Russell Wilson, and they're probably screaming now. They're back. I mean, because even some Seattle fans were jumping ship on Wilson for a second there. So I think that now you have the Seattle fans saying, realizing hopefully those Seattle fans have quieted it down, because you don't get rid of a quarterback like Russell Wilson. You just don't. You don't do it. You find a way to make him happy. You don't get rid of him. You just don't do it. And if they had their first round pick and and it was a great year for a quarterback in the draft, maybe because you want to refresh, maybe if you think you got a lot of needs, so you pick a new quarterback and now you free up a lot of salary. But even then, quarterbacks are 50-50 coming out of the draft.
No, the way you prepare right now is you get the offensive line for your next quarterback. You build up your defense. Yeah. You don't make stupid trades for Jamal Adams, and you strengthen the rest of your team, and then you draft when it's a good draft for quarterbacks. And when Wilson really is done, or about to be done.
That's reasonable enough.
I mean, maybe they're going to trade him for like an 8th round pick or something. I'm kidding.
No, if if they trade Russell Wilson, it's because they have no draft capital and they want to rebuild. But then that brings the question: why did you make that trade for Jamal? Like, why didn't you trade Russell? Why didn't you use that draft capital?
Yeah, well, the problem there is that they're going to be paying Jamal a lot, so it's not going to give him a lot of room.
Mm-hmm. Right. I mean, the cap is going up $26 million next year, so that covers Jamal, and then some.
You need a lot more players. Come on.
Well, I think what Seattle has going for them is they still have a very good defense. Like, they still got some great defensive players. So it's not like they have to. It's not like they have tons of spots everywhere on the team. Their defense is solid. They need offensive linemen. They have good receivers. They have Metcalf. They have Lockett. Their running back got hurt, but they had a decent running back. They really need offensive line. That's what they need. A different team. If if they focused and got some key guys, key offensive linemen, it's a different team.
Yeah, how many teams would you say that about? Half the teams in the NFL, they have better offensive line.
Yeah, anybody with that's exactly in the middle or worse is thinking that now there's a difference though. Like how many guys on your offensive line? There are some teams that can move up from being slightly like the 18th in the league, but if you added a great right tackle or left tackle, that would push them to 11 or 12 in the league and be good enough, like it can make the difference. So, and then there are teams that need 2 offensive linemen changed out. You know what I mean? So they have 2 very weak links on their offensive line. So it just depends. Then there are teams like the worst offensive lines that, like the New York Giants of the last 6-7 years, they've had a horrendous offensive line where they've needed 3. They finally filled one apparently with this tackle, Andrew Thomas, but they still need two offensive linemen. They need a center and they need another guard. Or actually, they need a right tackle, Soldier or whatever, Nick Soldier. It's awful, horrible, horrendous player.
Hey, so the Raiders are trying to come back on Washington. If they do, remember my prediction, both wild cards going to come from that division.
Mm-hmm.
All 4 teams can be in there. I mean, they can't all get in there. There aren't enough spots, but all 4 are in the hunt. The only problem is they have to play each other.
Yeah. Well, the Chargers won, so.
Yeah, no, I know it. I was very upset.
I think that's the team. I think that's the team that if Kansas City won the division, that would get the wild card. I think it's the Chargers.
We'll see. I think that could happen. I don't want it to happen. I'd rather it be Denver and Raiders. But I'm counting on the Chargers being a possibility. From a merman. I think Matthew might have decided not to bring dinner over.
Uh-oh.
So I have to find... it's okay. We had a really big lunch.
3rd and 1. The ball's loose. Seattle's jumping up and down in excitement. Seattle ball. It's going to become a blowout. It's going to become a blowout.
So I guess I have to consider myself corrected that fake punt touchdown obviously created some skippy kind of like a stone that skips on the lake momentum where, it went away, came back, went away, came back. But ultimately, that's what got us here. I think it was when they did their first sustained drive. I do. I think it gave them some confidence that Wilson was back and they were in the game ready to go. And the safety helped.
Yeah. Well, Seattle has dominated this game since the last drive of the first half. They have dominated.
Dominated.
San Francisco is having one of their, and they've had a few of these this year, collapses where they're just dug a hole for themselves that they can't dig out of. Keep making mistakes, can't get anything going. And it looks like Seattle, it's, there's a lot of time left, but right now, there's no doubt that it feels like Seattle is going to break the losing streak. Although there could be a turnover, there could be a stop here if the defense was to step up, and they're still only down by 1 score. So the game is by all means not over. If it was the Jets, the way their defense played today, the game's over, because you knew as soon as we didn't score, we were dead, because we were basically being scored. We were scored on every time the other team had the ball. It took till the fourth quarter until we got our first stop.
How's that second apple pie treating you?
Good. I'm feeling my system slow down a little. It's kind of like when you eat like 10 White Castle hamburgers and it's like cement in your system.
I would never know.
But I feel like
I have a question for you, and like, do you feel your arteries hardening from like the French fries and the apple? Did you leave any for Jocelyn? French fries?
I left her some French fries, and she actually got an ice cream sundae. Like, that's what she adds to the order. Like, I said, do you want anything? She'll go, ice cream sundae. I mean, I don't know if there's real. I think that's funny. Like, I think the big ad for McDonald's once was, this is hysterical, ice cream sundae. And then it would say in writing with an exclamation point, made with real ice cream now.
When they say with real ice cream, it doesn't mean it's 100% real ice cream.
I know.
It means there's some ice cream in it. But there was that company. What is the name of that company that had? It's an ice cream shop that has soft serve. Cold Stone.
Yeah,
my kid got a Cold Stone ice cream cone. Let me know if the game is happening here. But
wait a second, it's 4th and 1 again. So I'm sorry, we missed it. They ended up reversing that call, and like there must have been a penalty. They're replaying the down. I don't know if it was offsetting or what happened, but they're replaying it, and it looks like they stopped them. It looks like the Niners stopped them on 4th and 1. It was a pathetic attempt for a first down. Horrendously bad call as far as the play. There's a flag, though, so we have to see what the flag is about. It looks like motion. It definitely looks like there was motion. But I'm not sure if it counts as motion. I don't know if the center's allowed to move their arm like that. It looks like they're calling it against the Niners, which would mean that they're going to decline it, obviously. I can't tell who they called it against. No, they may have called it against Seattle. It's ridiculous because they changed the angle of the camera, so you can't tell which side he's pointing to. And because I'm on this podcast, I can't hear what the referees are saying. Oh, no, it's 4th and 6. It's 4th and 6, so it's not the same. At least they get to punt the ball. So the Niners punt, and it takes a Seattle bounce. So Seattle will take the ball on their own 29-yard line. So San Francisco has a full quarter to go. There's still some time left in the third quarter. They have a full quarter. Seattle's at their own 30. They need a stop. Pete Carroll is running around the sideline. He's running along the bench, high-fiving every player. I've never seen a coach work so hard. And I hope Robert Saleh watches this and learns something. A head coach that's just running to every single player, smacking them in the helmet, screaming at them, firing them up. I know people say the coach shouldn't have to motivate players, but it cannot hurt you to have a coach that's fired up, that fires you up. And that's what Saleh used to be as an assistant. And he needs to find out, like as a head coach, he has to refine himself on who he is.
You know, I used to be a program manager. I had a lot of project managers underneath me, and I would tell them, you got to be on people for deliverables constantly. And they would say, Lee, these are grown-ups. When they give me a date, they should hit that date. And I said, look, I've managed so many projects. If you leave people alone, they will have a much lower percentage of hitting your dates. Your job is to be all over them. And when you like that, people know you care. It's not just, you're not just nagging them. They know you really care about the project. And especially if you talk about why the project's important and come on, we need you. It's even more important for a coach in a sport, because in a sport, it's immediate payback on the emotional impact you get back from getting on top of people, especially in a positive way, not in a negative way, in a positive way.
Yeah.
Like, Jeremy, let's see some emotion. We got to win this thing.
I mean, look, Salah is he's like, he showed emotion today against the refs, but he needs to be more involved with the players. He thinks his role is to sit there and sit in his office and look at video cameras on Zoom of what's going on in the different rooms, and it's not. You need to be going in those rooms. You need to be talking shit to the defense this week. You need to go in there and yell at them and say, this is trash. It's not acceptable. You're held accountable, and you're not going to be playing or getting any snaps next week unless you stop this crap. That's
what you said
doing
before better, and that's stick. And I'm okay with some stick, without a doubt. Stick.
Well, you got to hold people accountable. It can't be just
Denzel. I'm agreeing.
Mims.
I just said I agree, but more important than that, especially game day on the sideline, is to get all over them on good plays. Awesome. Yeah. On a bad play, get on them, but then say, come on, we need this thing. Let's go.
Right.
It's positive emotion, right?
Yeah. He needs to do that. Otherwise, he's going to be finding himself back as a defensive coordinator for some other team in the very near future.
Yeah, threaten him. He's probably watching this saying, oh, my God, Jeremy is right.
No, because Bill Parcells... he held people accountable. Remember the first year the Giants won a Super Bowl, Bill Parcells cut his best wide receiver in the middle of the season. Because the guy had a bad attitude. He wasn't practicing hard. And Bill Parcells made a statement. He said to the rest of the team, if you don't play hard, and if you don't do what I'm telling you to do, no one is safe. Except Lawrence
Mims.
No one is safe.
That's right now. Mimsy.
Yeah, but why is he the one?
I don't know.
Why isn't Corey Davis being held accountable for all those drop passes?
We don't know what's going on in camp.
We don't know, except that Corey Davis can be banged up. They're always looking to start him. They're always looking to get the ball to him. And he's killed us. He's killed Zach so many times. Here we go. Russell Wilson drops back, throws a beautiful pass for a first down to, I believe that's Lockett.
Gotta lock it in
your pocket. Keep cool, boy.
Real cool. You know, the Jets,
just
West
lost
Side Story. West Side Story is coming out. I'm super excited about it. It's getting great reviews.
Cool.
The movie version.
Exciting to say. Yeah, it's exciting. Russell Wilson drops back. It looks like he could get sacked, and he does. Big sack from behind.
Last time you said that, it was a touchdown pass.
I know, but I saw it coming. The guy was behind him. It was Willis. Willis ain't no joke. Ain't no joke, Willis.
No joke.
We would love to have Willis on our team.
Son of him, do not poke. He ain't no joke.
He got bounced to the outside, but then Russell Wilson stepped back a few more steps and just set it up for him perfectly. So Willis sacks Wilson. And that could be what San Francisco needed. If they can 2nd and 20, that could be what they needed. But they can't give up a big play, obviously, right now. And now here's again, he runs through the rush for a nice 4 or 5 yard gain, but that's big because that was a broken protection. He was going to be in big trouble, and instead he ran up the middle, Wilson, and turned it into a 4 yard gain. But doesn't help them with this drive at the moment because that's makes it 3rd and 16, which puts Wilson, considering there's been pressure. Oh, Jamal Adams is out. That's why he's invisible. Shoulder. So it's 3rd and 16, and the last 2 plays, the Niners have gotten a lot of pressure. We'll see what happens right now. Here it comes. The blocking's a little better, but now they're at him. They pressure him. They force him. They tips off of somebody, goes up in the air, and it's possibly an interception. Seattle is saying incomplete. And it looks like the refs are saying incomplete. I think we're definitely going to look at that one again. So a San Francisco Niner broke out of the blocking. He was being blocked, but then he broke out of nowhere, and both guys came at him out of nowhere. They actually put the Malachi Crunch onto Wilson. And it looks like they're gonna have to look at that replay a few times because it's hard to see from that angle if the ball touched the ground or not.
The thing is, the camera angles usually are really good, and you can see that the ball's tip touched the ground when the body went over the ball.
I think
I'm not seeing the play, so I can't see, but that's awesome.
It looks to me in the replay like it may have touched the ground, but it's going to be very hard to reverse it unless there's a camera angle that's different. It's going to be very hard to reverse. I'm thinking that they're going to just call it 4th and 16. That's what the refs are saying. It doesn't look like. I don't see any challenge flag yet.
Hey, Washington's going for like a 48-yard field goal to take the game away from the Raiders. Washington football team.
I don't know if we want Washington winning or not. I don't know if it matters. I know you want the Raiders because you want your prediction to come true.
Well, also because I want to see a team that's 500 make the wild card. I love that when that happens.
Oh my God, the guy receiving the punt for the Niners did something so stupid. He should have, instead of letting it roll, he picked it up and ran towards his own end zone and then got tackled. So he just made it like a negative 12-yard return.
Washington, I think, hit the field goal. They're up by 2.
With how much time left?
Raiders have about 40 seconds left, too.
Wow, they might do it. Washington is keeping the NFC East interesting as they continue to win, too. There's so many teams that are within striking distance in the NFC. There's so many teams that are not eliminated. But I think that if Washington wins, it's only a matter of time before Seattle would be eliminated, even if they do run the table. You know what I mean? As soon as you get a few teams to get to 10 wins, it's over.
Yeah, but they'd have to really run the table. If they ran the table, you only have one team over 500 vying for the wild card, and that's the Rams. Everybody else is 500 less, assuming San Francisco loses here. If they win, then 2 teams from the West are both over 500 by a couple of games, and would beat the 2 wild cards. I mean, right now, of course,
right.
There's a season left. 5 games.
But aren't there 3 wild cards this year?
I didn't know that.
I don't know if that's true. I thought for a second.
It could be like basketball. Everybody's in the playoffs.
Everybody gets to be in the playoffs. It's just about where you're seated.
Yeah. The whole season, every given Sunday, all those hard-fought games are for naught.
Maybe I could just say things that aren't true. There are 4 wild card spots, and I get somebody to go into the chat and correct me. I'm trying to lure them in. We keep going for. Oh, that's funny. Someone keeps coming in and out to check on us. So here we are. It's commercial. That's what's going on. The Niners have the ball. Horrible field position because their punt returner is stupid, and they're down by a touchdown. They got plenty of time left in the fourth quarter. It just started. There's like 13 minutes left in the game. The Niners need to get on the board. Even a field goal would help. Just, it wouldn't help a lot, but at least it would put them in a position where then a touchdown would put them in a position to win instead of just tie.
So I don't have any access to real-time information, but what I do have is that Washington, that the Raiders are 2nd and 10 in their own territory. 25 or something with about 30 seconds left.
Funny thing is I could put it on if I want.
Maybe 20 seconds left.
I could put it on and call it if I want, but we can't.
Well, it's an interesting ending, you know. You go back and forth a little bit.
Yeah, let's watch this Niners play the first down.
Yeah.
See if they do anything. Jimmy is in the end zone, throws completion to the 24-yard line for San Francisco, gets out of the hole, and now we're in decent field goal range. I think that – okay, let me see. That's Channel 13. Thoughts? Niners, Seahawks. Just want to see what that game is. 40, it says Fox News, but maybe it's already –
Lawrence had a bad game.
Let me see if it's there. Okay, 17-15 Washington. There's 10 seconds left in the game. Raiders have the ball. It's
Where?
1st and 10. They're at their own 35. So it's going to be like a Hail Mary
That's
type
nothing.
thing.
Yeah,
Doesn't look like they have any timeouts left. So they're in very bad position.
very bad.
Carr drops back. He runs away. He's running around the pocket. He throws a short pass, 8 yards. And his receiver ran out of bounds with 2 seconds left.
Yeah, now it's Hail Mary time.
Now it's a Hail Mary.
What are you, 50 or something?
No, they didn't get to the 50. It was a dump pass. It was like a dump off.
No, it's the nothing. They got nothing.
That didn't get them to the 50. It got them to the 42, their own 42.
Yeah, but they only have one play, so there's no field goal opportunity.
Now Derek Carr does have the arm, I think, to get it to the end zone. I think I've seen him do it before. So he does have the arm to do it. So it looks like it's going to be a jump ball.
You can
3 men rushing. Here we go. He steps up. He hurls the ball. It's going towards the end zone. In the end zone and incomplete.
All right.
And they never call pass interference or anything like that on those kind of jump ball things.
No, it's chaos.
The refs are very good about it. It's just a jump ball. Whoever gets it gets it. Yeah. Unless you tackle somebody or something crazy.
So that game's over.
That game is over. Washington beats the Raiders 17-15. And it's another year where the Raiders show promise in the beginning and just can't pull it together at the end.
So why don't you go back to Seattle, San Francisco? But also, I think we looking at the Pittsburgh game. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, in the San Francisco. Okay, I'm sorry. In the San Francisco game, it's 1st and 10, and San Francisco has the ball on their own 45. So they must have gotten the first down, but it looks like there's a chance it's going to be challenged. Well, the ball's clearly on the ground. There's nothing to challenge. Oh, I think are they trying to call it a complete pass, and they're saying it's an incomplete pass? I don't know. They're challenging. It looks like they're challenging something. So we'll get back to that. The Pittsburgh game. What's going on in that game that you want to check on?
Baltimore is up by 1. They had the ball deep in their own territory. There's about 6 minutes left, and I just think it's interesting now to see what Big Ben does in his final season. I think it came out today. It's a rumor. I don't know if it was substantiated that this is his last year.
Well, it's a surprise that the Steelers are even in the game, to be honest. You think that, but you know what? Lamar Jackson, don't know what's going on with him.
Well, Baltimore hasn't had it. Baltimore has not had it just lately. And they've been winning, but they're not winning like you'd expect them to.
Yeah, but usually with Lamar Jackson, since he's joined the team, their offense is so explosive. They score a ton of points. So it seems that you look to him. If they're not scoring points every week, you got to think, what's going on with Lamar? Why can't he help them get some points on the board? This is probably the worst stretch he's had since his rookie year when he was learning. But since he started to explode on the league, I haven't seen Lamar have 3 games like this in a row, 3-4 games where you see Baltimore scoring under 20 points a game.
Yeah.
Miami made him look like a rookie. Good running play for Pittsburgh. I think that's probably Najee Harris on first down. So Pittsburgh has the ball down by a point. They just did like an 8-yard run. Very nice run by him. He made like 3 different cuts. Oh my God. He had 6 defenders touch him before he went down. It's a beautiful run. Great draft pick for them. I don't care if it's a running back and people say, don't take a running back in the first round. He's going to be a good part of their future. That was a broken up, weird play, and Ben just started running with the ball, and it looked ridiculous. Like he just ran and fell down. It was just pathetic.
He's an old guy, man. He's an old guy, and he's been beat up every year. I mean, so many years they got to him and beat him up. And what was beautiful about him is he'd fight it. He'd break away from tackles. He'd still throw the ball. But that catches up to you, man.
Third down for Pittsburgh. Short pass. So it looks like Freihopper. Was it the tight ends or maybe there are other tight ends? Because that doesn't look. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Grant. Something with a G. But anyway, it's first down for Pittsburgh. So they're moving. Let me go back to the 49ers Seahawks game and check in.
Yes, I think the Niners are moving the ball.
4th and 8, though, for the Niners. Let's see what they're going to do. I don't know where on the field they are. They're punting. So it's going to be Seattle ball in excellent field position as he's running, still not down,
Ugh,
right at the 49-yard line. But there's a
wow.
flag. There's a flag. There's a
Uh,
flag that
illegal
could pull
block.
Seattle back.
Illegal block.
Usually means illegal block.
Yeah.
Illegal block in the back.
I
Seattle.
don't even have the game on. I can tell you it's an illegal block.
Yeah. Oh, so that play before that they were checking to see if it was a completion because that was whether or not they got the first down. And they're saying it was an incomplete pass, and because he didn't make a move. That's right. It looked like he had it, and his feet were down, but that's not how they decided a complete pass or an incomplete pass. You have to make an offensive move when you land. And when he landed, there was no offensive move. He went to the ground and he couldn't hold on to the ball. And he will think about that for a long time if they lose this game. So Seattle has the ball at their own 32-yard line. Running play, nothing doing. 0 yards. Let's flick back to the Pittsburgh game. Only on NFL Chaos do you get to hear two games at the same time. First down, Pittsburgh. Big play. Looks like it was a running play to Najee Harris. He was a great pick. He gets better and better every week. Great blocking. Great scheme. They did a sweep and opened up a giant hole for Najee Harris.
Yeah, this is an exciting game. I mean, it's exciting. It's an interdivisional game, and you
another
have
running play. Yep.
Pittsburgh's down by a point.
Yeah. They're at the 32-yard line, their own 2nd and 8. They keep running the ball, which is surprising because they're the ones down by a point. But maybe maybe they're gambling.
Yeah, there's a lot of time left, right? They're already they want to get in field goal range. They're already in field goal range.
They want to take the clock down.
They're going to take the clock down as low as they can, especially if they believe in their D, right?
Yeah, and their D has been wow. Pittsburgh defense has really been delivering today because they're holding Baltimore to 13 points. So.
Yeah. So you might as well put on their shoulders by taking up the time now.
Yeah. But I would be very wary of Lamar Jackson. No matter how bad he plays, you put him in a situation where he has the ball at the end of a game. That's never good.
This could be a fun one. It can come down to the wire.
Oh, absolutely. 3rd and 2 for Pittsburgh now. They're definitely in field goal range. They're at like the 30-yard line.
Yeah. How much time left?
Like over 3 minutes, like 3.5 minutes. So they didn't need enough. They need a first down. They need to eat up more clock.
Yeah.
Plus, they would love to get a touchdown, right? I mean, they would.
If they do a sustained running drive now, they will eat up the clock and win with a field goal.
Yeah, but it's 3rd and 2. It's hard to imagine that. Yeah, Baltimore's got everyone. They're stacked. It's going to be. They got everyone in the box. Here we go. They pass. Ben throws it into coverage. It's hit up in the air and intercepted.
Yeah.
But there's a flag.
What, you think pass interference, maybe?
We don't know. There's no way to know.
It could be holding. It could be anything.
If I could hear, they're saying a hold.
Yeah, that's not going to help.
But it might have been but a hold against who?
It's defensive holding.
A hold against who? Yeah.
Yeah.
Pass interference. Defense.
Pass interference.
First down, Pittsburgh.
That was the first thing I said was pass interference.
Yeah.
Hey, so I have an idea for this show since we're just getting started, right? We're just getting our shoes on, as it were, barely walking. Maybe we do Jets play the early game. I know that's where our focus is. Maybe we come in the afternoon and do all the afternoon games.
I like it.
And we move to where the action is.
I like it. I think for right now, we got to stick a lot to Seattle too, though, because I have a lot of Jet-oriented people that really want to know what's going on with the Jet game. I mean, with the Jets draft pick. Right, but moving forward, I really like that. I really like it.
You can always have a main game, but you got to go where the action is also.
Yeah. Here comes Seattle, 2nd and 10. Their 40-yard line on San Francisco 40-yard line, a chance to put the game away. Screen pass, 10 yards, 15 yards, 20-yard gain, 25-yard gain, all the way to the 15-yard line. I think Seattle is putting this one out of reach.
That's going to put on ice. There's still a lot of time left, but they definitely have the momentum.
Well, they're going to go up by over 2 scores, so they're going to make it a 2-score game with little time left. I think we have to except that Seattle's going to get the win today, and that Jet fans will have to suck it up.
Yeah, so move on to Pittsburgh. Let's see what they do. There's about 2.5 minutes left.
That's where I am. It's 2nd and 2. Roethlisberger looks like he's all running, looking around, confused, coming towards the sideline. I don't know if it's a timeout or not. Maybe Pittsburgh just called a timeout. It looks like the clock is running. He's just letting it run to the 2-minute warning. So we're at the 2-minute warning.
Yeah,
beautiful clock management.
That's great management. I mean, the pass interference really helped, though, of course, right?
Now you're going to see Baltimore start using their timeouts.
Yeah.
And
how many do they have?
They don't have They have all 3, I think.
All right.
I think that you get fired as a head coach if you don't know that you always use your timeouts when the other team has the ball and can eat up the clock, as opposed to saving them for when you're on offense and have the ability to get out of bounds and obviously do hurry up and spiking the ball and having other ways to stop the clock. With 2 minutes to go, they have no choice but to use their timeouts, because if they don't use their timeouts, Pittsburgh will literally run the clock down.
Right now, with the timeouts, Pittsburgh needs probably 2 first downs to put the game on ice. Right. You should go back to Seattle because we want to see what happens there, and 2-minute warning over here.
All right. Thank you, boss. Unless
well, that's what I want to hear about now, because I hate 2-minute warnings. Big timeout.
Okay, it's 3rd and 4. They look really close to scoring. It looks like they're pretty close to the end zone. I can't tell. They're on the 7, 3rd and 4, so it's a big play. But even a field goal, it's going to be very, very hard for San Francisco to come back if they kick this field goal. And I don't see Seattle taking a big risk here, although Pete Carroll is an aggressive coach. He would love to put the game away and make it a 2-touchdown.
Yeah, they should definitely go for the touchdown, but they should settle for a field goal if they have to.
Yeah.
Unless it's like 4th and inches or something.
So Murray returns to lift the Cardinals. Brady leads to the Bucs to win over Atlanta.
Cardinals looking good.
Oh, yeah. Lions win the first game of the season on the final play of the game.
Amazing. Hey, so what's happening? What's going on in the Seattle game?
I'm afraid to leave because it looks like they're going to come back to the I'm sorry. Seattle has the ball.
Yeah, right here. I want to know
Seattle has the ball. Here it is. 3rd and 4. 3rd and 4. Here it is. 3rd and 4. They snap the ball. Shotgun. A lot of pressure. Gets rid of it. Throws it. Looks like a first down.
First down without a touchdown?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close. First down without a touchdown. No, that's not a first down, I don't think.
I was just saying the only way he would go for it is 4th and inches. But I think 4th and inches with Wilson, you can go for it. You can go for it.
There's no field goal unit coming out. It's 4th and 1, 4th and inches.
It's kind of crazy too, though, because a field goal and you pretty much won. So why? I'm the one who said if it's 4th and inches, you go maybe. But I'm a wimp, I guess. I'm going to take the victory. I get my field goal.
Here comes the snap. It's a dangerous call. They might be trying to pull him off sides. Nope, they run it. They're running the ball, and it's easily a first down.
All right. Did Wilson
to the 1 yard line? First and goal on the 1 yard line. No, Wilson handed it off.
All right. Straight up the middle.
We go back to the Ravens Steelers. Yep, we go back to the Ravens Steelers. I see an offside penalty against Baltimore. I don't know the implication of that. It makes it 1st and goal.
Makes it first down. It's first down.
So it's 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes in the game to go. 1st and goal. First down for Pittsburgh. 1st and goal. From the 8 yard line.
I know they want to run the time down, but I think they've got to just try to score. They got to focus on a touchdown right now.
That's the easier way to do it.
Because I don't think they're going to be able to run the clock out because they can't get a first down now.
Yeah.
Baltimore still has their timeouts. They're not going to be able to run the clock all the way down. A field goal might not be enough because Baltimore might come back with a field goal. So you got to put your energy into the touchdown.
Okay, stop talking so I can actually call the game. There's for a loss of 1. It was a pathetic running play. It looks like they're getting overly conservative. Over conservative.
You got to try to. You can't go conservative right now.
So there's Baltimore's timeout. I'll go to the other game.
You're gonna leave them time. You're gonna leave them time. You don't have to. I mean, they're gonna get time. They're gonna have over a minute left. So you've got to put the ball in the end zone.
Okay, 5 minutes and 40-second clock's ticking. Seattle 1st and goal, and It looks like San Francisco held him. They tackled him all the way back at the 5-yard line, but it looks like they're giving forward progress, or they ended progress, and they're going to pull him back to the 1-yard line. So it's 2nd and goal.
Yes, I think getting back to the Pittsburgh game, I just think they're making a mistake because you're not.
Here it comes. Baltimore. Yeah, Roethlisberger throws, passes to the 5-yard line. So it's going to be 3rd and goal from the 5 for Pittsburgh. But they did a running play. A passing play. They did do a passing play.
I think they should. They need to try to score a touchdown again, and then I think they have to settle for the field goal, obviously, because they're down by a point. But they should really go for the touchdown and forget about the time management right now because Baltimore is going to score a field goal. You got to force them to go for a touchdown.
Yeah. Here we go. 3rd and goal.
Which game?
Pittsburgh, Baltimore. They have 1 timeout left. So if you throw an incomplete pass, you give them a timeout. But you got to try to score. There's 1:52. You're not taking that much time off anyway.
Yeah, you're not. They're going to get a chance for the field goal.
Here we go. He drops back to pass. He throws it to an open receiver, and he's in for a touchdown.
Touchdown.
All right. That
was the right move to make.
Yeah. Lee still has some love for Pittsburgh because he went to Carnegie Mellon. That was number 18. Who the hell is 18? Is that Juju? No, he's hurt. That was Johnson, Dwayne Johnson. It's okay. That's their number 1 receiver.
And I still think it's exciting. Now Baltimore needs a touchdown to come back, and I think that's a more interesting play anyway.
Not just a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
18-13 and 19-13 are both bullshit. So Pittsburgh.
Oh my God! Fumble, Seattle. I think. Is that a fumble?
No way. No way.
3rd turnover. San Francisco gets the ball. No
on
touchdown.
No
score. On the 1-yard line. It's
what?
1st and 10. There's 4 minutes to go, and they're down by a touchdown. They're very much alive.
So Pittsburgh has to go for 2 here because they have to force the touchdown plus a 1 point to tie, a 2 point to win versus a 1 point to win, right?
No, a 2-point conversion will win the game.
No,
because Pittsburgh was up by a point already. If they score 8, they'll be up by 9.
No, Pittsburgh right now it's up by 5. They got to go for 2 points to be up by 7.
Oh,
up by 6 means nothing. Up by 6 means
down
nothing.
by a point. They were down by a point.
Yeah, they were down by a point.
For the 2. They're going for the 2.
They've got to go 2.
They got to go 2. Because then a touchdown doesn't end the game for them.
Right.
End zone pass conversion completed.
All right. So now Baltimore needs a
Freiermuth, the tight end that me and Greenbean wanted the Jets to draft.
Somehow that guy got hit in the mouth. He's got a loose tooth. Amazing Freiermuth. So now they have a minute and a half or so to score a touchdown, and then they'll have a big decision: tie it with a 1 point or win with a 2 point. They're going to go for a tie it with a 1 point if they score the touchdown.
They're on the road, so that leaves open a slight possibility that they go for the 2 because they're on the road than the tie.
Meanwhile, this has turned into even more an exciting game to see if Jackson can come back, right? Can he do it? He has almost 2 minutes to bring it back.
But we're also that is exciting, and we're also seeing if the Niners offense can come back.
Yes.
1 yard line, fake handoff, nice little loop pass, caught to Jaworski or whatever his name is, the fullback, for a nice 30-yard reception. Bringing San Francisco out of the hole.
Use the guy that you like to call the juice.
That was beautiful. Actually, he stepped out at like the 27. That totally gets them out of the end zone, out of the danger. And
my app says the 33.
Yeah. Oh my God, they didn't rule him out of bounds. So 33-yard line. Here comes the snap. They're playing fast. Screen pass. 10-yard gain. He fought for the extra yard. 25, who I keep forgetting the name of, even Mitchell, who I've said it a million times. First down, 43-yard line. And now they're showing a replay of the Steelers game that we already saw. The Steelers are up 20-13. We'll go back to that game in a second, but it's really hard to leave the Niner game right now because suddenly there's full life, great chance to tie the game.
If they're going fast offense, we should stick with them until they slow down.
Right. They're snapping it right now. They did slow down a little. Somebody slowed down the game. I don't know if it's a tight end timeout by Seattle. He pulls the ball back in a fake handoff. He's running the ball. Jimmy G is running the ball. He runs for a first down, barrels down, past the 50-yard line to the 47-yard line, but there's a flag.
Holding.
Well, it could be holding. It could be holding. It could be a late hit on holding. Holding against San Francisco.
Yeah. If he's scrambling, they're holding.
Yeah.
And remember, they have to score a touchdown. Only a touchdown will do, but they have plenty of time, so time is not a concern in that game.
They got 3 timeouts. If there's anything at all, they don't want to score too soon.
Yeah. So where is Baltimore right now? I think they have the ball at like midfield.
I don't know how that happened, but we'll go back to the game and follow it. There's a false start though against Baltimore. There's a false start, but they are almost at midfield. But they're going to be at their own 40 after the penalty, probably. No, it's 2nd and 10.
Yeah, what's 2nd and 5?
They're probably near their own 40. Yeah, they're on their own 40.
But they were at the 45 before the penalty,
of course. Yeah. It looks like Lamar's being sacked. He breaks free of it. Then he gets hit and he fumbles. There's a flag on the play. The ball goes out of bounds. Chaos everywhere. Steelers shaking their head no. I don't know what's going to happen and what the flag is going to be about.
And the real chaos is here.
And Watts is the guy who was making the hits. I didn't realize he was back for Pittsburgh. Always a factor in every game. It looks like a holding call against Baltimore, which is going to put them at. Oh no, was it? That looks like it was declines. So they declined the penalty.
Ball went out of bounds behind the yard line of scrimmage. That's why.
Third and 10.
Now they lose the down and a yard or two, probably.
Well, it's 3rd and 14. You're right, because the
4 yards and the down.
Right. They'd rather take the 4 yards and the down.
Yeah.
3rd and 14.
Big play for Baltimore.
Big play. Well, they're going to have 2 plays. They're not punting.
At 14, this is a big play.
Of course. He goes for it all in the first play and does it. Beautiful pass all the way to the Pittsburgh 41-yard line.
So they don't have timeouts. They're going to have to hurry up because they don't have timeouts. So you're not going to get a break.
They have one.
Yeah, but they're not going to use it now.
Of course not. 41-yard line. Snaps the ball to Lamar. Lamar passes up the middle. Nobody covering him. All the way to the 24-yard line, 23-yard line.
It's a smoker.
There's 43 seconds left. And it looks like the timeout was called. Baltimore used their final timeout.
I want to think about
43 seconds left. They're at the 24-yard line.
Okay, Seattle's at the 2-minute mark. Why don't you go check out what the stats are over there?
They're showing a commercial.
Yeah. So there's 2 minutes left in that game. San Francisco's on the driving touchdown behind at the Seattle 30, but they need a touchdown.
They got all the way to the 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm looking at an app that just shows me the summer. I don't have any video. I just have it.
The question is, if you're San Francisco in Seattle, do you go for the extra point and tie the game and play for overtime, or do you go for the win?
Well, first they have to score.
If they score, some people say when you're on the road, you should go for the win.
You know, if they have a play they're super confident about, this is really, I think you have to look at your coaching and you have to look at your intelligence. You have to look at what Seattle's been doing for these kind of short yardage things like
Here's Baltimore. Lamar drops back, throws it down the middle. Oh, incomplete. That was scary for Pittsburgh.
Clock
so we have two road teams that have to determine if they're going to go if they score a touchdown. 2 teams that are going to have to decide because they're on the road if they go for 2 or kick the extra point. It'll be interesting if one does one and one does the other. and see who it works out for.
So Baltimore, that's very interesting. I think Baltimore is out of timeouts now, right?
They're out of timeouts. They're about to snap the ball on 2nd and 10.
21 seconds left.
He throws the ball, and it's complete at the 5-yard line. He's out, and it's going to be 3rd down and 4.
To get it out of
3rd
bounds?
and 3. He went out of bounds. He went out of bounds.
Okay.
16 seconds left.
Plenty of time.
Yeah, it's
You
3rd
get
and
two-
5. So
You get two passes. You get 2 passes.
Easily.
Yeah.
Easily.
2 passes.
Not an issue. The only way it's an issue is if you complete a pass and don't get the touchdown. That's the only way it's an issue. But they'd still probably enough time to line up and spike it. Oh, no, you couldn't do that unless it was a 1st down, which is the 1-yard line. So we'll see. Lamar Jackson fades back. Can't find anybody, but then he does. He throws it. Touchdown. Touchdown.
All right. How exciting can you get?
Touchdown. Wow. We got a tie game. He threw that to, I think, Andrews. And Ben is on the sideline not looking happy. They stopped Baltimore all day.
Yeah.
And then couldn't stop him with 2 minutes.
Well, you called it about Jackson, right?
He's that kind of quarterback.
The thing is, the better thing would have been if they could have killed the clock and scored right at field, but they couldn't do it. They couldn't get the clock. And part of that is because Baltimore let him get through and get a 1st down inside the 10, so they couldn't get another 1st down.
Okay, hold up. I got to say something. It looks like they're going for 2.
Oh,
it looks like they're going for 2. They're going for 2 points because they're on the road. That's what you do when you're on the road. They could be trying to call them offside so they can make it a 1-yard conversion. That's possible. Now that looks like they could be changing their mind because it may have been just to get them to come off sides.
They don't have any timeouts.
I don't know why they stopped the play. It's 12 seconds left, but they stopped. It's a score, so the clock is stopped on a conversion.
Ah.
It looks like Pittsburgh may have called a timeout. But they're still saying 2-yard attempt from right now. Tucker left the field now. The kicker left the field, and in comes the tight end. And they're in the huddle. They're going to go for the 2-point conversion.
Go for 2. Tight end makes sense.
On the road, this is the textbook thing you're supposed to do, they say. But I think you have to have a play, like you said.
Well, you have to scout the defense and know you have an offensive play that works against
Here we go. So he's in shotgun. He's got a running back with him. He's got 3 wide receivers and a tight end. He almost caught him. Incomplete. It's
Pittsburgh
20 to 19.
Even if there's an offside kick, they won't have time to even do anything with it. So game's over. Nothing.
Unbelievable. Ben is down almost crying. He's so emotional. It's crazy. Watt was caused the whole thing. By the way, that's a premium elite player. Watt was the guy who got in and pressured Lamar to throw it too quick. And that is a guy you pay
$17 million and give up draft choices for.
$20 million you pay for a guy like that. Let me tell you something. He steps up when you need him to step up. That's what he is. That's who he is. And that's who you pay the big money to. It's the timingness of his – man, Watt has won them so many games. So many games he's won them. It's just crazy. Now they're wishing they kicked that extra point. But let's go back to the other game.
Yeah, now we got to go to the other game.
So we don't even know what's happening. It's a commercial.
I got ball on the 5, 39 seconds left, 2nd and goal.
I got 32 seconds left, 2nd and goal. 5-yard line.
All right.
32 seconds left. San Francisco still has 2 timeouts.
Seattle
has 1. Seattle has 1 timeout, 32 seconds. So if San Francisco scores here, just to let you know what's going on. In case they kick the extra point. He just ran the ball to the 3-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and goal. And I'm betting San Francisco will call a timeout.
I would.
Yep, they do.
How much time is left now?
3rd and goal, like 12 seconds. And for some reason, I'm watching the Ravens-Steelers game. Huh?
They have 2 attempts, and because they have another timeout left, they can afford a run if they want to try a run.
Right. But here's the thing. Now that you're in 2-point conversion territory, like at the 2-yard line, you're going to give up your best play right now to score this touchdown. So then it makes it harder maybe to go for the 2 because you've just used your best play.
Well, I don't think it's going to sound so stupid that I'm saying this, that because you have 2 plays,
27 seconds left. Sorry.
Because you have two plays, you don't necessarily have to use that must convert play right now.
Yeah.
Because you get three. You get
He shots
two
back.
score.
The play action pass. End zone. Defended. Any flags? No. It's going to be 4th and goal.
Now you have to use your best. Now you have to use your best. If you didn't before. And if that was your best, you suck.
He was all over him. And they called Bryce Hall pass interference and not that. He was all over him. Man, the referees in this league are inconsistent.
They suck. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. It's a hard job. But I do think certain teams seem to get the calls, it seems like.
Yeah, I am in pure shock. Hey, Billy SBC, what's up? So he's saying it was a really stupid call by Baltimore. They blow the play dead. I don't know what's going on. 4th and goal. They call, somebody did something. We'll find out if it's an offsides or a motion or a delay or what's going on. Maybe a timeout. Yeah, San Francisco timeout. So they'll have none left. It's 4th and goal. They have no timeouts left. They're going to talk it out. Now they have to use, they're at the 3-yard line. So they're not giving away their best 2-yard play. They'll be giving away their best 1-yard play. What'll be interesting is if San Francisco scores, and Billy, how would you feel if San Francisco scored and they do the same thing? How would you feel if they go for 2?
You were
and
saying
they're
Jerry,
fighting for the
that
flag.
it's textbook, but I got to tell you, I feel like it's such a momentum killer, even in the locker room, that you scored, but you went for 2 points and missed it and lose the game. That is crazy.
No, I know, but when I say textbook, I mean they say that if you're over 50% in 2-point conversions, they say you're supposed to go for it. Emotionally, I don't believe that. I believe you tie the game and stay in it, and it's a deflected pass, and it looks like San Francisco loses the game.
Seattle
There's
takes
the
it.
game.
Jets lose the draft choice right there.
Yep, there it goes.
Probably 3 to 5 spots they just lost. On that one.
No. 3. Maybe 1 or 2 spots.
Now, there's a lot of teams with 3 wins. 4 wins takes you to a whole new realm. New realm.
Well,
Plus,
the Jets kept their pick in the top.
Plus, now they have momentum, winning momentum. They'll have
yeah.
This will give them another win.
We got to look at who they play next week. It's all who you play. Anybody know who the Seattle plays next week?
I know. Let me look. Houston. They're going to win that game. Houston. And Seattle.
Let's fight another day. Yeah, look, I mean.
Seattle plays Houston.
Seattle plays Houston, so that's an easy win for them.
San Francisco plays Cincinnati, and they're both going to be coming off losses, embarrassing in some ways.
Yeah, that was
a game.
That was a horrendous ending for San Francisco. That was a big loss for them because they got a tough game. And you're right, that's going to turn into Seattle now winning 2 in a row because they're going to topple Houston.
Yeah, and now San Francisco plays Cincinnati, who's also coming off a shit game, and they both need to win that game. San Francisco, Cincinnati, both teams need to win that game.
Well, the good news is that there's at least 10 guys in the draft in the top 10. As long as if the pick was to stay in the top 10, the Jets will still get a great player from that Seattle pick. I mean, there's so much good, strong talent in this draft, in those top picks. There's so much the Jets can do.
They never counted on a top 10 pick anyway. So even if they get pick 9, 10, 11, that's still much better than they ever really thought they'd get.
Yeah.
And their own picks looks like it might be pretty good.
Yeah. So is that it? Are all the games over?
Yeah, all the games are over. We're going to call that over. We're not going to be like those announcers that say, well, there's still 7 seconds. They could swim. No, the game's over.
All right. Well, not the best day for the Jets. Carolina's on a bye, so we didn't get to see them lose. Seattle wins as San Francisco blows it in the end. They had 2 opportunities from the 3-yard line, and they could not convert. I think they should have brought Trey Lance in those last couple of plays, and played like a wildcat kind of thing. It surprised me that they didn't because they were very successful in the beginning of the year doing that. That would have been a great opportunity to use Trey Lance. But you can argue that. You could agree with that. It doesn't matter. I just think, like, if you have Trey Lance on the team, I think they could have utilized him. I think they could have.
No. I think,
in that part of the field.
but Jimmy G got you there. You got to give him a chance.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how you pull it out of his hands.
Yeah,
really
yeah.
saying screw you, Jimmy. But I don't know that you could do that.
It's
You
just
could've
that
lined into the
it's
playoffs.
really hard to stop a guy like Trey Lance in that situation.
It's a tough situation, I think,
Because
for the
he's
coaching
such
staff.
he's such a good running quarterback. He's
Yeah.
such a great athlete.
I agree.
But
You have-
yeah.
tough call, because you're taking them. Then you're taking Jimmy and downing him a couple of notches, and right now you're riding him theoretically to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Unless you say, hey, we're doing what's good for the team in this situation, we believe this is, especially they had 3 chances. So that's
Yeah.
where you do that kind of a crazy thing, right?
Yeah.
You give them a chance or 2.
Ah,
Hey, my
don't
second
love
favorite team also lost.
who's that? The team that played the Chargers.
Yeah, so Cincinnati lost. So my second, I don't really even like Cincinnati at all, but my second favorite team lost this week.
So the Broncos Chiefs should be a good game at 8:20. Well, guess what, Billy? I have been on since 10 a.m., 1 o'clock Eastern. I was on 12. I'm sorry. I was at 12 o'clock Eastern. I was on Pure Adrenaline Fantasy Sports. Then I jumped onto Jet Nation with Green Bean, and I covered the Jet game with him. Now I covered this game. I'm done.
And my brother Matthew, our brother Matthew, just came here with a bunch of homemade Instant Pot, delicious. I hear the best ever chicken soup, and I'm going to take that down. That's what's going to happen.
But yeah, it should be a good game. I'm going to watch it. I got to type something up for work because I have to do the newsletter. So I still got some work to do. And then I got a 5-day full week ahead of me. But I got 10 school days left, 2 weeks to go until my winter break.
Nice. All right. Happy holidays, everyone.
Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in, Billy. Look for my video. I'm going to do a post-game video that I'll probably put out tomorrow morning on my thoughts about the Jet game. I'm not going to talk about the referees anymore and how ridiculous it is, that pass interference on Bryce Hall, particularly when I watch these other plays and there's no flags. But I will talk about I'll talk about the Jets defensive coordinator and what I think should happen to him.
Ciao.
Ciao.